All right, guys, welcome to the 2020 NFL live stream draft by your truly own Mark Ramirez and Michael Pless. Well, introduction to the show. Hello. We're officially live, and now we got the newest Buccaneer of the family, Braden Anthony Ramirez, a la B.A. Ramirez. This was the good luck charm all through the Super Bowl run. Everyone was like, oh, how's the boy? Well, there he is in his chunky flavor self, being a good boy.
Good evening, Bucs Nation. We are live for the 2022 NFL Draft. With me, a special guest, Evan Winter. Evan, how are you doing, and how are you feeling about this draft coming up?
It's draft night, man. Couldn't be better. And I think I'm with the majority of people whenever, coming into this draft, we don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Oh, my God.
And he fits that role perfectly.
Getting my reaction right now.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have looked at that.
What was it?
I can't unsee it.
I got a text.
I can't
do you want to know?
I can't see it.
Okay,
Is it Elijah can't see? Like, Will Levis is
Yeah.
Elijah can't see.
Oh,
No,
wow.
That's what I
Wow.
What?
I don't even know. I'm going to say it's Graham Barton because we talked him up. And we're going to, just don't tell me. Let's just.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not looking at you. I'm not doing anything.
We'll play the tape here for you guys again. Just put it up on the screen. But I mean, you see him there, number 62.
Yeah, in the words of Bobby Boucher, 62.
Yeah. And there's the play I think Ken was referring to, where he pushes Jared Verse back. Oh, look who decided to show up here at the last second. You're just putting in that bag, as you like to refer it. So.
I'm going to leave when you do this shit
Mark's
again.
like, I am done. End the stream. He can do it, too.
Right? I'm not to. I'm about to bounce. Seriously, I'm about to just close the whole laptop.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I think hell of a pick, first of all. I think there's a few players there. Barton, Newton, I think we're like probably at the top of their board. We talked to Jason, and he said there were a few players left. He had some of those corners there on their board as well. But Barton was the pick all along.
Look at you, Pless. On the money.
Yeah, I still have a brain here.
Yesterday wasn't there, plus.
It was not. It was not. I was all over the place. So
I was like, what the hell's going on?
I was like, wait, these guys aren't available? What are you talking about?
What?
Wait,
what do you mean?
Caleb Williams is available at 26?
Oh, the Bucs could get Jared Verse. Oh, yeah, he's still there. Oh, yeah, this guy's still there. No, they're not.
I was like, wait, plus, you're usually picking me up. What the hell's going on?
I know.
I'll say Tyke Smith from Georgia. I don't know, I'm just throwing a name out there.
That's a good guess. I mean,
What does that mean?
What is that face for?
Bleeping go!
what is up, Bucs fans? We are live. The NFL Draft has finally made it. It is good to be here, and I'm joined by really good friends of mine. That is Ken Barrett, who you saw in that intro video. It was awesome to see. And my also good friend from Pewter Report, Josh Capo, who does a great job doing the cap and just film analysis as well. So really excited to have you both on here. And how are you guys feeling about this draft? I mean, it's going to be, I think, pretty exciting.
I'm feeling a lot better about that intro video. The production value, Ken with a baby face. I mean,
Yeah.
that was some pretty good stuff, man. You guys are taking it up a notch.
Trying to do something different, So
I love it. It's like a time capsule. So it is. I thought it was fantastic. Kudos.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is our fifth year on YouTube, so I figured we would do a little flashback to when we first started and now where we are now. So it's pretty cool. We even got the baby in there, Mark's son, Braden, who, believe it or not, is 4 now. So he is growing pretty fast.
That's awesome. Where is Mark tonight?
Mark should be joining us. I think he's going to join us in the next hour, probably be after 9 o'clock, but he will be here. We also have a lot of other guests joining the show. We'll have some guys from A to Z Sports on later in the evening. JC Allen probably after the Buccaneers pick. So yeah, it should be a fun.
It's all downhill from here.
All downhill.
Make sure you let JC know that.
Yes, absolutely. We will. But yeah, I mean, the draft is getting started here shortly. I don't know if the Titans are on the clock yet. It doesn't look like they have started that, but I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I really like this thing by NFL.com, the next gen stats. It's like the NFL draft IQ. Really cool way to track everything, and they have it all right here. Cam Ward, I think, is obviously the most likely pick here at 1 overall. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty intriguing as far as what's going to happen with that next pick. Apparently, it could be traded. So a lot of intrigue so far.
Yeah, I think I think the Cam thing is probably a foregone conclusion at this point, but Cleveland seems to have been wise to hold on to till the absolute last possible second to drum up as much interest in the best offer possible. I am normally not a trade up guy in the first round, but that's a really unique talent that you can get at 2 overall. And I'm not going to be mad at a team that does it.
Yeah.
Titans pick is in, by the way, plus.
Oh, already?
Wow. Sanders.
Okay.
I completely agree with Josh. I mean, a lot of teams, if there's a second quarterback, 2 becomes pretty hot commodity. You think of Jaden Daniels last year, for instance. If a team has a preference, it could be your own number 1 pick there. But yeah, no, I mean, it's very curious to see. I think Cleveland's chipped their hand that they really want Travis Hunter. So I think it's going to take a lot for them to trade out of that, as Cam Ward just got announced number 1 to the Titans, as we all know.
It's not Shador.
No.
There goes that bit.
Here I thought Shador was going to go around Nashville with cowboy hat and boots tomorrow for the celebration, but guess it'll be Cam.
Yeah, I think that was all expected. Obviously he was probably the best quarterback out of the bunch, and Tennessee going QB to start with, obviously they had a new coaching staff and now general manager coming into the mix from last year, and now this year they get it, the GM from Kansas City. So that's their first pick, and we'll see what they can do with it. Cam Ward, I think he's got a lot of upside, some things to work on, just like every prospect. But I think with his production and
Jacksonville's on the clock at 2, not to interrupt.
No. Yeah, there it is.
No
I mean,
way.
we were just talking about it.
I'm looking for the package.
Yeah, so Liam Cohen makes a big move.
Wow.
Right away,
I'm curious. I mean, could it be Hunter?
It has to be Travis Hunter.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely who they're going for. Browns received the 5th overall pick, 36 overall, and 126, plus next year's first.
Oh,
and the Jags get 2. They get 104, and they get 200.
I think that next year's first to go up 4 slots.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a win for the Cleveland Browns. They're already going to get A's probably from everyone after that.
Well, I think it's good from both sides. Again, because Hunter, I think Jacksonville. I'm speculating here, but they'll probably have him as a corner first, and they need corner help, right? And then with their wide receiver situation, you can easily put Hunter into certain packages, maybe give him 20 snaps a game. They already have Brian Thomas Jr., who's their kind of alpha. They went out and got, what was it, Diami Brown, if I remember correctly.
Commanders, correct.
Yeah, so yeah, I like this from both sides. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would probably, I agree with Josh 100% here. I'm just going to throw out Daniel Jeremiah's analysis on the situation, which is that the Jaguars, and he thinks that whoever drafts Hunter is actually going to start him at wide receiver first and then work into corner. I personally don't see it, but I think Daniel Jeremiah sparking that conversation is interesting. But I'm 100% with Josh. Give him the 2-minute package, 4th quarter, anything like that. He's a smart kid. We all know that he's a great athlete as well. I think you can find enough for him on offense, but he's too vital, especially right now for a Jaguar secondary.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness. I mean, getting a guy like Travis Hunter, I mean, to get the best player probably in this draft, I mean, that's quite the deal. They also, I think they got some other picks back in return besides the second round pick. It looks like they got a 4th and a 6th in return. So that's pretty good. I mean, giving up the next year's first, I think that's worth it if you feel like Travis Hunter is going to be that kind of player.
You're getting 2 players.
Yeah. I mean,
you're using 1 first on Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, another first on Travis Hunter, the cornerback.
There you go.
In a draft where there aren't a lot of like elite, or there's not a consensus on a lot of elite premium talent. He's the universal. Everybody has him like as the top talent. Everybody understands Cam at 1 because the cornerback or the quarterback need and the elevation of that position just in terms of positional value. But you're getting like on my personal big board, he was number 1 and he was number 2.
Yeah.
So you just got the best overall player in the draft and the second best overall player in the draft for 2 firsts and a few pick swaps after that. I know
we're going to talk about Cleveland here in a second, but do we think, just given where Cleveland is, that this new number 6 overall could be a quarterback? Or is it just, hey, we're just going to take all these picks, we're going to put the best team together, and then we're going to figure out quarterback later?
Yeah, I would say that's probably it.
I think that's what you got to do. Jaguars pick is in. I think we all can guess what this is, though.
Yeah, so Cam Ward, Travis Hunter pretty much stays chalk besides, Jacksonville getting Travis Hunter now. So I think those are both really good moves. Cam Ward again to Tennessee. I think you start fresh there, you start building and hopefully get some more pieces around him moving forward. And then Travis Hunter, do we feel he can do we think he's going to play defense first or be that quarterback?
Well,
that would be my guess, but okay. I mean,
Cohen definitely wants him on offense. We know that.
Yeah.
Cohen will use him.
Where did you like him better, Josh, as far as corner versus receiver?
So kind of a double-edged sword. I had him graded higher as a receiver, but when you think about if you're going to play both ways and probably full-time in one spot, part-time in the other, I find it hard to see how it would be easy to be a full-time receiver and for them to find packages for you at corner, especially with Hunter. Like he's typically like an outside corner, right? So, all right, if you're going to have packages where he comes in and he's the outside corner, do you have an outside corner who can kick inside? Is he become just an overhang, like a dime backer? Like then are you getting like the best value out of him? Just that, I think that's a really hard position to play part-time is corner. Whereas I think receiver is an easier position to play part-time. And I think that you kind of have to dedicate everything to being a corner, and then you find your opportunities to slot in as the 3rd and 4th receiver, especially because on offense, guys kick in all the time. So if you want him to be an outside receiver, you can kick your outside guy in. Put Brian Thomas in the slot. He's going to eat, right?
That kid's a stud.
Yeah.
We all kind of saw that in the preseason last year. And we heard from our cornerback situation what Brian Thomas was doing to them. And I think we all kind of were in agreement there that Brian Thomas was a dude. And I think the season showed that he was, even with Lawrence, being a little bit streaky here. Lawrence especially has got to love this pick, both for the short and long term here. Lawrence has got to show something. There's just the Texans really in that division.
Yeah.
Colts are always going to be around 500. We'll see what oh my goodness, why am I blanking? The Titans and Cam Ward look like. It's a surprising trade because I don't think many people predicted the Jaguars coming up to 2 and that the Browns would be okay with 2. But you see that package, I think it just makes a lot of sense.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, to get a first next year, and there's no guarantee that Jacksonville is going to be some team that's going to be competing for the playoffs. Like you could still have a top 15 pick, potentially. So with that, and plus a better quarterback class, assuming it's going to be better next year.
Even if they did, though, you got to
Right.
think that pick is in the teens, because let's say they make it the playoffs as a low seed. You got the Chiefs, you got the Ravens, you got the Bills. Like Jaguars probably aren't ready for that step yet. So that 2026 first, at least to me, is at least a teens pick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got something for you guys. So last year, I kind of tried to advance some of the draft trade value charts. Right. And one of the things that I attempted to do is to create a dollar value for every pick based off of for any of your viewers who are familiar with like the Jimmy Johnson trade value chart. And then more recently, Brad Spielberger, who used to be at PFF, and Jason Fitzgerald at Over the Cap, they put out a book looking at a much more researched value system. And I've kind of tried to work off of their system and create dollar figures so that trades where players are involved can more easily be analyzed, right? I actually just had the research published on the Read Optional, Ollie Connolly's Substack. So I just went and put in all of these picks, assuming that the next year first is valued like the 16th overall pick, but I should say valued like the 48th overall pick, which is the middle of the second round, because the time value of it, you can't use the pick immediately. You typically discount it by a round. Putting it all in there, the Browns got $186.2 million worth of value for the package that they got from the Jags, and the Jags only got $135.2 million in value. So Jags gave up roughly $50 million, 51 actually, in surplus value to make that jump, which means, obviously they're putting a lot of eggs in the Travis Hunter basket. Even with that disparity, again, I still like it from both sides.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for both sides. And now it remains like, where do we feel Cleveland is going to go? Giants, obviously next team
Still on the clock with 4 minutes left, and we know there's one blue chip guy left.
Right.
So we'll see if they go there. We'll see if another team wants to come up. My expectation is Abdul Carter here.
Yeah,
my girlfriend's a Giants fan, so we've talked about the idea of Kayvon Thibodeau being traded. Like that's kind of what I would do. But again, we'll see. Joe Shane, we know they need to win now. We saw what they did at the QB position, so I don't expect a QB. Abdul, to me, is the last blue chip guy here before. Again, I think there's a second tier, but by the time pick 15, 16 comes, I think we'll see a pretty even talent gap across there from that tier. Probably 3. It's kind of. I know Josh has. I love the way, Josh, you do your tiers. By the way, it kind of takes that long-term outlook on how you do tiers. But I just meant in terms of talent when I say tier 1, tier 2.
Yeah. So for this purposes. Let me ask you guys about that. So for your viewers who don't know, so the way I do tier, I don't do round grades anymore. I do tiers. And the reason being is I went back and looked at historical outcomes, and it's almost it's so stable year over year. About 5% of guys drafted in every draft are going to end up being an all-pro at least once. Another 8% are going to be a Pro Bowler at least once, and that's selected to the Pro Bowl, not like an alternate, not like what was it, the Ravens backup quarterback who made it a few years ago. Then tier 3 for the way I do things is a guy who's going to start at least 4 years in his career. Tier 4 is a guy who starts at least 3 years in his career, 2 years, 1 year. And then my tier 7 is just everybody else. Going back to the first pick, what tier would you put Cam Ward in?
2.
So you think he could be he's going to be a Pro Bowler?
I think he'll have one. The only thing that makes that, if he was in the NFC, I think there's just a clearer route there. It's just those AFC quarterbacks. So I think he's going to have maybe 1 on his resume, maybe 2 in there, at least kind of looking at that 5 to 7 year, just because there's so much physical attributes there. is kind of where I kind of see him. I don't see him as being a top 7 guy in this league, 8, 9. But we've seen Josh Johnson make Pro Bowls.
Well, again, that's
I know on technicalities. But if you told me in 3 years that he was maybe top 5 in the AFC behind Mahomes, behind Allen, behind Jackson, I think I think that would make this a home run pick for the Titans.
Okay. What about you, Bless? You got him in tier 2 as well?
Yeah, I would say probably on like borderline tier 2, tier 3, like right in the middle there.
So I'm the hater. I have him as a tier 3, and I'm not
going to argue you.
No issues with the Titans taking him first overall because they could use a tier 3 quarterback, right? Like that's a league average dude, right? Like somebody who's starting for 4 or more years. So with the positional value that comes in with that, and again, I'm sure your viewers are going to hate me for this, but like Baker Mayfield's like a, kind of like top 12 to 16 quarterback, somewhere in that range. Yeah. I guess Baker has been named to a Pro Bowl though before, right?
Yeah.
So Baker would actually, his outcome at this point it would be a tier 2 guy. So, but being a league average quarterback can be very good for a franchise.
Again, I like the Daniel Jeremiah trucks versus trailers. I think Ward has the attributes to be a truck, but I think we all can agree that Titans roster wise just isn't there yet. That's why I think you got to put him on that year 3 kind of plan there, like kind of Josh Allen. Just, again, I think there's going to be some interceptions. I think there's going to be a learning curve. I think there's going to be a talent deficit. But if he keeps his head on his shoulders, stays healthy, I just think the potential is there, which is, if you ask me the rest of the quarterbacks in these drafts, I mean, probably borderline tier 4, tier 5 to me. So that's where I think Ward was. Hey, if I'm going to take a shot on anyone on this draft, it's him. Just from the physical attributes.
Yeah, Giants went Abdul Carter like we expected. So far it's been pretty, chalk as far as the players. Cam Ward going number 1, Travis Hunter, and now Abdul Carter. And we'll see if the Patriots continue this. Will they go Will Campbell, who
God, I hope they don't. Like I am a Membu is offensive tackle number 1 for me by a clear margin, only because
all the traits.
Simmons. Yeah, well, and if Simmons didn't have the injury concerns, it'd be a much closer one. But this is a Bucs-centric podcast, so I'll bring it back. When I watch Membu, I do get shades of Wirfs.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got the athleticism. He's got,
And it might be a little bit of like the jersey stuff because like Missouri's color is a little bit like Iowa, right? So maybe it's just that bias thrown in there for me. But man, I do see a lot of him, and I think he's clearly better than Campbell. And I am. And Ken, I'll ask you this, bud, because you got the offensive line background. What was it? Ledyard suggested this.
Oh, I listened to this. So I know where you're going.
Center, you think that might be his best role?
I center to guard. I'm not the biggest fan of like taking a left tackle like Graham Barton and throwing him at center. I'm just going to be on the record saying that. But I also disagree with the stance of just take a really good left tackle in college and he's going to be a Pro Bowl guard in the first round.
I'm surprised to hear you say guard just because that anchor.
That's what I'm saying is I think that's why I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowl guard because that's the common rhetoric between a tackle. Oh, okay, he's a tackle in college. You can just move him to guard and he's going to be a Pro Bowl guard is what you hear Mel Kiper say and all of those types of things for the casual, fan out there. But no, if you told me he could play center, I think that'd be great. But
it's in. Patriots took Campbell.
Oh, well, there you go.
But that's the thing. The Patriots offensive line needs talent. What do the Patriots do? They cross-train a lot of guys. They'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm not that concerned.
I can get that. And they signed Morgan Moses, and he's a natural right tackle. And I don't know if Membu can move to the
They
other
just
side.
need good guys in front of Drake May because they need that to work. And then they need a number one weapon. And then I think they have enough. We know they have enough running backs that they can use at really any point. They developed that position well. So, like, again, I know everyone was talking about T. Higgins there before he signed with the Bengals. I think they do need a guy at some point, but May needs a line.
No, I get all that. I think I'm in favor of the Campbell to center specifically because of the I do think that there are some wingspan concerns. And then because of the lack of anchor, I just don't see guard as a good fit. So I think center allows him to weaponize what he is good at, which is the movement skills, right? Like he's quick, he can move, and it allows him to attack most defensive tackles not head up, right? From an angle as a helper. Every once in a while, maybe he faces an even front and a nose tackle just eats. But at that point, put your running back up into the hole. You can do a lot of things to mitigate that one issue. And that's why I do think that center may end up being the best spot for him down the line. I think with the Patriots taking him at 4, it's definitely going to be a let him fail at tackle before we move him anyway.
That I agree with. And I think just with the center talk, I mean, there's just so few like truly elite centers. And I think with someone as athletic as him, everyone throws out Jason Kelsey. So like, if you just put a gun to my head and said, where do you think he'd be best at? I think it's just the easiest to slot him in at guard. But to your point, the anchor is a little bit of an issue. The arms are still a little bit of an issue. Center's probably the most ideal position for him. It's just, I just don't love I was against moving Tristan Wirfs to left tackle. Like, I'm just not a big fan of at least throwing a player into a new position that they've never played and then just thinking that it's going to be okay at least right away and they're going to be Pro Bowl this, Pro Bowl that, which is the common rhetoric.
So you were against Wirfs to left tackle. You were against Barton to center. I was against Wirfs to left tackle. I was against Barton to center.
So Will Campbell.
Moral of this story, we're fucking dumb, man.
Well, it's not, again, like with words.
Let me pause you guys right there, because if you guys go back to the 2020 Real Bucs Talk draft live stream, we were against Tristan Wirfs at all.
Oh wow! You just that live and on television.
Oh no!
So we were totally against the pick, because when we were watching his tape, we were like, there's just a lot of work that needed to be done as far as allowing inside pressure. And we were worried about that. And thankfully, we had JPP and Shaq Barrett to coach him up. So he got a lot better in just a few months from a technical aspect. So that is something. But as far as like Graham Barton, moving to center, I think we were on board with that. But I understand it. I mean, moving Will Campbell, I think the Patriots just need talent overall, and Will Campbell is still a good football player. If he's moving inside, obviously it hurts from a positional value standpoint. You would like to, get a top tier tackle in the top 5, but at the same time, you just want to make sure you get a good football player, and he kind of fits their mold as far as like the intangibles and stuff like that. So, I mean, solid pick.
Yeah, got something for you guys. Diana Rossini of The Athletic, she's reporting that the Browns are taking calls to move down from 5.
So Chicago
trade down.
This is like every fan's dream. What is Sonny Liston thinking right now, everyone? Is that his last name? I knew it was Sonny. I forgot his last name.
Sonny Weaver Jr.
Weaver, that's what it is.
Sonny Weaver Jr.
Sonny Weaver.
Yeah. Sonny Liston, wasn't he like a boxer or a golfer?
Yeah, I think he was Sonny Liston.
Yeah, I mean, could we see Chicago move up for Genty?
If they trade up, I mean, me and Leonard were going back and forth about this.
Yeah.
No, the Browns have made a selection.
Oh, the Browns have made a choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ari Myra announced it. My man Garrett placed money on this, so shout out Garrett Jansen out there.
Yeah.
Browns taking Mason Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, so Mason Graham does go 5. Imagine that. Yeah, put him next to Myles Garrett. I'm not.
That is probably the best position for him. Like,
Right.
Yeah, anyone next to Myles Garrett, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you got all those picks.
And elite pass rusher Joe Tryon-Shoyinka on the other side.
But I mean, think about it.
Absolutely.
It's the Aaron Donald effect. Like anyone, like
yeah.
those lines, you're gonna like JTS might actually get a chance to finish. Like JTS didn't play bad. I think everyone on this channel agrees, but like he didn't finish.
It's going to be so interesting for JTS this year because he's going to a not a 3-4. He's going to a 4-3. They don't drop. Right. Like he's going and they'll move guys around. Like, I mean, there are all those clips of, Myles Garrett lining up over the guard, just doing the basketball dribbling motion and everything. I am excited for JTS to potentially have a breakout season because of the gravitational pull of Myles Garrett, plus a system that I think will cater to him actually getting to rush the passer more.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, pretty chalk so far. Mason Graham again stays. Oh, sorry, guys. I think got audio in the background. But yeah, Will Campbell, goes 4, and now Mason Graham, and now the Raiders on the clock. Do they take Ashton Genty, or does he?
I think this might be Membu, and this will really tell you what they think of. Oh God, what's his name? Because like his PFF grades last year weren't that bad. Their right tackle from last year was more of a developmental kid.
Right.
Let me see if I remember it. Because I was texting Trevor Sikkema like 3 weeks ago. I was like, you think the Raiders might be in on Membu? Yeah, DJ Glaze. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So it was about 3 weeks ago. I was like, I think that they might be in on Membu and maybe not sold on Glaze. And Trevor was like, I agree. He's like, I don't think people are talking about it enough. So we'll see if that one comes to light.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, if you are just joining us, welcome to Real Bucs Talk. Be sure to hit that like button if I can get it on there. I don't know why it didn't pop up. That's weird. There we go. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here to the channel, joining us for the 2025 NFL Draft. We have Josh Capo on and Ken Barrett. So a lot of good coverage remains to be had as we continue to go through the picks. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. We'll be sure to get to them as well. So, yeah, keep it going here as the Raiders are on the clock. I guess let's pull out a Bucs question here since it is a Bucs podcast. But what are you guys feeling, or I guess I should say, what do you guys think is your best hope for 19th overall?
Ken?
Ezeraku.
Ezeraku, yeah.
It's not that I dislike Hairston. I know that's a name that's been thrown out a bunch. I want to shout out Jason Light for his line season, him and his staff. Fantastic job. I couldn't tell you if it's receiver, if it's linebacker, if it's edge, if it's safety, if it's cornerback. Fantastic job. You can go to 100 mocks and you're going to find like 60 different, back and forth players there. But yeah, like I think Ezeraku is just awesome because he provides a little bit more of an all-around game. I think he fits, at least from a short term, hey, let's see what happens with, oh my goodness, Eagles edge.
Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. It provides some long-term insurance there. If it's only a one-year deal and Reddick goes elsewhere, well, then you can slot someone in. If it's great, well, you can now have at least a 3 or 4 man rotation there at edge. Anthony Nelson being a solid depth guy, like great. And I think this team has shown that they can attack the secondary and linebacker in those middle rounds. So that's kind of where my mind is. But if Ezeraku isn't on the board, I'll take one of the Georgia guys. We'll see again. We'll see what the run is. But if there's no run on edge and Ez is still there, that's my guy.
I've been in on Ezeraku since Senior Bowl.
Yeah, you have.
So I haven't really fallen off that one. I think he ended up climbing my board as the season or the draft season went on. Trying to see, he is a tier 1 guy for me. I do think that There is an all-pro in his future, which means I'm higher on him than just about everybody else, and I'm fine with that. I just think with him, he complements the pass rush so well, and he brings that different a long-term fit to that different element that I believe that they could use, and I think it helps the Bucs win with 4 more. I just think it opens up the defense. I love the arm length. I love the way he wins high side. I love the variety of how he wins. Character, I think, is off the charts. I think he's extremely intelligent. He's somebody who's been preparing for this opportunity, not just to be drafted, but he's been preparing to be successful at the NFL level for quite a while now. I got a chance to talk to him a little bit in Mobile. I came away extremely impressed. So it's one that I would hope that the Bucs make. But to Ken's point, I think they've done a good job of setting the roster to where when it gets time for them to pick, they can literally say, who do we think is the best player? We don't really need to look at what position we need so much. And I know a lot of fans are going to say they need linebacker, they need corner. To that, I'll say rookie linebackers rarely are positively impactful. Nobody knows who's going to be a great linebacker. You can look at that from draft results. Very few first rounders first linebackers taken end up being the best linebacker in their class. Some of the best linebackers in the NFL were day 3 picks, right? So I just don't think that the NFL is great at finding awesome linebackers, and it's such a hard position to play. So very, very few can actually do it at such a high level. And then it drops off real quick, and then it becomes replacement level stuff. So, and I think the Bucs have done a good enough job of upgrading the linebacker room from where it was last year, right? So you don't have to have the best linebacker room. It just has to be better than last year, right? By a decent amount. And I think between Servassier Dennis and Anthony Walker, they've got better than KJ Britt and JJ Russell, right? So, and I even think there might still be some juice left in Deion Jones. So, and then at corner, they held on to Jamel Dean. So the depth chart looks pretty solid as long as Bryce Hall is back, and it seems like he is. So,
and with that, the Raiders pick is in. Any guesses?
Membu.
No.
Who is it?
It's going to be Genty then.
Genty.
Yeah.
Genty.
Yeah. Well, guys, don't hate me. I'm going to allow a Jets fan on here. So he's talk some New York football. Good friend of mine. He is a diehard as far as New York sports. So, A-Rod, I don't know if you can you hear founder of Mark Sucks. Yes, absolutely. What's up, A-Rod? Can you hear us? I don't know if he's on mute or if he can.
He might have had my problem when I came in. I had to leave and come back.
Okay. Yeah, A-Rod, try to sign back in.
Yeah, the second time it worked perfectly for me. First time I had a little issue.
Yeah. But he'll be joining us as they are going to be up on the clock. Get his reactions to.
I respect the Raiders though. They got this pick in quick, so the TV's kind of catching up. I feel like it was 2 picks behind for a while there. The Raiders wasted no time.
Yeah, they were like
salute you, Raiders.
They were like Ashton Genty, best. He's the best player.
Yeah, I thought the Bears, if he made it there, I thought they would have done it. I'm curious if they still try to go like Hampton or something. I think they have more than enough needs, and I think there's going to be maybe an offensive lineman or 2 there.
I think they need to look at offensive line, and I think the Bears need to look at defensive line. If you're talking
100%.
Yeah,
so I know that they brought in a ton of names, but when you look at the actual production and value of those names they brought in, it doesn't match the name value or the paychecks that a lot of those guys are getting. What was it? Grady Jarrett, way past his prime. Jonah Jackson at guard,
Tooney's long in the tooth now.
Who's that? Oh, Tooney. Yeah. There could be a fall off with Tooney. I think the other one, and I've said this, they got the best center in free agency. I'm not going to pretend that Drew Dahlman's not good. He's good. I just failed to see the fit because Dahlman is such a zone, especially outside wide zone. He's at his best when he is stretching horizontally. Ken's got a face.
I don't think it's legit. I saw something. It's not legit. Don't pay attention to me. I know A-Rod's getting on. I saw a Jets get Sanders, and that deserved a look. So that's why I was like, hold on.
A-Rod, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, man. How's it going? How you feeling about this pick coming up?
Shitting my pants, man.
Who do you want, A-Rod?
Who does A-Rod want? A-Rod really wants Shador Sanders, but I know it's not going to happen.
Interesting.
I just saw a tweet of like a fake account, A-Rod, and I thought it was legit for a second, and Josh here saw me make a face. So glad to know if it was Sanders, you'd at least have been happy.
I'd be happy. I'd really be happy with it, but the safe pick is the kid from Missouri, the offensive tackle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I won't be upset with that. We need to protect Justin Fields because that man just does a lot of running. So
that's true. That is true.
And also, I mean, the previous regime, I feel like they just missed so much on the offensive line that you would hope the new regime comes in and
we don't miss on the offensive line. We give up on everybody. We don't keep our first round picks. This is the first time I've seen him pick up 5th-year options on 4 guys, and I'm happy for that. But historically, we don't keep players. We give up on guys like Becty, and look what he does for teams like the Eagles. Goes and wins a Super Bowl as a stud starter. So, it is what it is, but this is the team I'm cursed with.
That's a little bit of apples and oranges, right?
No.
So,
Nope, no, it's not. Be a Jets fan. You'll find out what apples and oranges are. It's all lemons and limes.
Well, okay. Well, I'll say apples and limes then, because the Jets don't have the structure around where Becton. The Jets don't have that kind of offensive line coach. Like, he went to the possible spot, and they got the most out of him. And he may not be nearly as good next year with the Chargers, although the Chargers have a pretty good situation. So
Membu's the pick.
Great pick.
I hate to disagree with that for the fact that I know my team very well, like you guys know the Bucs, and we nail everything. We nail a lot of things outside of Hackett as the offensive coordinator. Like, we didn't nail that one, I can say it. But I mean, the head coach last year, there was nothing wrong with Saleh, man. It's just a trail of a shitty organization that doesn't know how to draft well or keep players or even keep a locker room together. And there's also just like rumblings within the internal organization of just shit that you don't expect to see, man. It's literally like ETV, but with the Jets. It's like 90 Day Fiance meets the Kardashians meets all this goofy stuff, man. You can't.
All right,
I can't win.
If we're on a 90 Day Fiance, I think that is my cue
It's bad, bro. It's bad being a fan here. Like, I'm finding a reason to jump ship and become an Eagles fan just because of my lady, but this is the team that I say I'm cursed with for the rest of my life. So,
well, I wish you the best with Membu, and guys, I'm gonna let you go.
Show me a gun.
Appreciate you, Josh.
See ya.
Feel free to jump on later if you want to.
All right, will do.
What happened to Mark? Where's Mark?
Mark should be here. I think we're getting close. We're getting close.
Do you like my name tag on there?
That is perfect. Perfect.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
are you guys ahead in the draft, or because like I just saw Genty get picked by the Raiders? So
yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Is in. They're going to announce Membu, and then Panthers are now on the clock.
Can you guys see me on your end?
No,
because like I can't see myself.
No, we can't see you, but we can hear you fine.
That's perfect. Yeah. I hate that you can't see me, man. That's kind of bothersome, but
I wonder. I don't know. Are you able to like change your settings on your
I'm
camera?
I'm on my phone, man.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm on my phone. We can look at that beautiful picture of me right there.
There you go.
The smiling face. I wish you could see my reaction to this pick.
Love that.
Yeah, so I just got on my end that the Jets pick is in. So it looks like, obviously it's going to be the offensive tackle, which is a good pick. We were just talking about him as potentially being Tristan Wirfs like as far as talent goes and athleticism. So
hard to complain there.
Yeah, it'd be a good pick. Pair him up with Olu Fashanu. So I think that's a good tackle tandem.
Panthers are on the they're on the phone right now.
Okay.
They're looking to get out.
Trying to trade down. So
I'll let you know if I hear something. Trying to balance both the phone and Twitter. Lovely.
Nope. Lost A-Rod.
Help.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I wish you could see my face, man. I'm wearing red just for you because I know it's a Bucs thing. So
appreciate that.
Did my best
it's the
here.
thought that counts.
Yeah, it's a thought, man. But like I'm telling you, man, this team, I like the hire of the head coach. I love Aaron Glenn. It's my boy.
Yeah, you gotta be excited about that.
I'm very excited about it. I was very excited with Salah, man. That's my Muslim brother, man. But this is a new regime. We'll see what they can do. I like the roster construction. I mean the coaching construction.
Right.
The roster construction. Couldn't tell you who the hell we signed this year outside of Justin Fields. Nobody I'm excited about. So let's just pray Garrett Wilson stays and doesn't want to trade. And I'm happy we didn't see them trade Breece Hall to go get Genty.
Yeah, that would have been something.
Bunch of crazy things I could expect from this team, but
Yep, good stuff.
We were going to try and ask you to get on the pod yesterday, but I told Kay, I was like, hey, you got to give him a little bit more of a heads up, man. Can't just get him on last minute.
Yeah, just let me know.
He's in high demand.
Yeah, definitely jump on if I have a
He's in high demand. It'd be nice to get Mark. I'd love to get Ken on there now, and I know Ken's available, so
yeah, Ken is a good dude. I've known Ken for a few years now, and really good insight.
I can help you with Membu if you ever need. Yep. He's one of like the 3 linemen I actually watched extensively.
Yeah,
game for whatever, man. We need to start doing more collabs with other people outside on the pod, but you know how Kay is sometimes, man. Just I'm gonna talk about the Eagles all day on my podcast. So it's like, hey man, this isn't the Fair Eagles podcast. This is the Fair Weather podcast. So.
Oh man, Panthers must really be milking this clock right now for a trade because there's nothing. It's the Sahara Desert out here.
I'm just waiting to see who we get, man. I know it's Membu, but just want to make sure Roger Goodell doesn't fumble the cards here or something.
Oh man, can you imagine?
Oh my God.
I hate that guy.
I want his salary and his job is all I want.
Right.
Correct. I think we'd be cooler doing it than him.
Yeah.
I think we all would be.
Yeah.
The coolest he ever was, I think, was the 2020, doing it remote thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh my God, I think Twitter just crashed. No.
Makes sense. Elon Musk.
No. Elon.
Fuck Elon too. Go eat your ass burgers.
Refreshing back up. Must have just been the search is down on Twitter, so
here's a Jeff pick. There you go.
Every update's from like 30 minutes ago. This is fun. Thanks, Elon.
Let's go, baby. You want to see my face to that? This is my face exactly. With a blank stare, man. Just that right there.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All
very
right,
good
boys.
pick.
Well, I'll let you go. Do your thing. Get your hosts on there. You do a great job every year. Plus, people tuning in. Best Bucs podcast, best insight. And my favorite thing about this man, all of his draft videos. I have never seen somebody do their homework better. NFL teams, if you are listening to this, hire this guy and then hire me with him later.
Appreciate it, Alex. Take care, man.
Sounds like a good dude.
Yeah, he's one of my good friends. We're in like this big group chat, and he's always talking New York sports, and we give him a hard time about it, but it's fun. So,
I'm dating into a Giants and Jets family, so
there you go. You
can
know how it
participate.
is.
I can give that the the south side of the Jets fandom there and
Yeah.
all their updates.
Yeah, how is your girlfriend's as far as like the Abdul Carter?
I think it's what we all expected.
Yeah, is she excited
I
about
think
it?
she likes Kayvon though, so I think that's the situation to monitor.
Right.
But it's kind of like the Bucs thing with Ez. Like,
Yeah.
can't really have too much of these. They won 2 Super Bowls, being 3-4 edges deep. So Dexter Lawrence is obviously sexy Dexy, as he's known.
I saw your face earlier. You were reacting to
Jaylen Walker.
Okay, yeah.
Panthers. Wait, no, now I'm seeing Ted McMillan. Okay. No, I'm seeing Jaylen Walker.
Yeah, Jaylen Walker, I think, was like a bookend because with the Kay Adams interview, pretty
Nope,
much.
it's Ted. Greg
okay.
Allman. Greg Allman's got a guy that he follows. That I'm riding with that.
So they changed their mind. They went with
no. I think there was 2 people with like 5,000 followers saying Walker, but now it's Ted.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Ted McMillan makes a lot of sense because you need help for Bryce Young. I mean, get him a legit receiver. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
this
NFC
is everything else hasn't been this crazy. I'm blaming you, Elon.
Right.
Too many bots on this app. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Ted. Interesting. Now, one division rivaling, one division upcoming.
Yeah, I know. Back-to-back picks from NFC South opponents.
I'm feeling Tyler Warren for
the Saints. Okay.
Future
yeah, I mean,
QB1. Tyler
that
Warren.
has gotten some hype. I think you look at Michael Williams, I think, got some consideration here. Maybe Jaylen Walker, but I don't see them going with that. You know, Tyler Warren, I think, does make sense because you want to continue to add offensive playmakers to that group. And, you know, especially with the
older receiver, like Adam Thielen can't do this forever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, McMillan is 100% the best pick, I think, for Carolina, because you need someone for Bryce Young where he can really develop. And then for the Saints, like I was saying, for, you know, Tyler Warren, if he is the pick, I think that, you know, helps them in terms of getting a more established target for whoever your quarterback is going to be. And plus, you just don't know with the injuries around Chris Olave and, you know, Rashid as well. So coming off an ACL.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was gonna share, but like I was saying earlier, guys, if you're in the comments section, if you're joining us via YouTube or even Twitter, be sure to leave us you know, comments or questions in the chat. We appreciate it. If you want to get your question answered right away, you can do a super chat. But as always, be sure to hit that like button if you're joining us. We have over 100 people in here. I'm sure that's going to continue to rise as we get closer to the Buccaneers pick. And we're kind of just going over, you know, every situation so far. A lot of talk about, you know, Cam Ward in the beginning, Travis Hunter, the big trade with Jacksonville. Liam Cohen makes a bold move right off the bat and gets probably the best player in this draft. So have to give him credit there. And then the rest of it's been pretty chalk. I mean, we expected Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Mason Graham for Cleveland, and then Ashton Genty and Armand Minbu at 7. So now we have Carolina. It looks like Ted McMillan is going to be the pick here as well.
Albert Beer confirmed, as well as Jordan Schultz. So I think that one's locked in.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Let me see if I can get this back. There we go. So yeah, if you guys are here, be sure to hit that like button. We appreciate all the support. And we got a long night ahead of us, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully we see some more just wild picks as we get forward, you know, moving forward here.
Speaking of wild picks, while we're on the Saints, I'm very surprised to hear the amount of Tyler Show Shaw, however you pronounce that, at the very end of the first round.
Yeah.
25-year-old quarterback. Hasn't really done anything too crazy.
Right.
I don't know. Like, apparently he's who the Saints love. They're obviously not going to take him at 9, but the whole idea is to trade up potentially to get the 5th year. I think it's always smart with the quarterback to get the 5th year. I just think that's very interesting.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so here's the pick so far, guys. If you guys are seeing it. Yeah, no cocktail tonight. Yeah, again, we're not in Palm Island this year, so I don't have any drinks.
You had your own bartender. You're snacking for.
Yeah, Matt was my bartender, so yeah, I mean, no alcohol beverages. I've actually been on good behavior. I haven't had an alcoholic drink since I don't know when. I think it was like January. Yeah, January or maybe before that. So
proud of you, man.
Yeah, I'm just kind of taking a cleanse right now, trying to take a break. I'll probably start drinking once the Bucs season starts.
Yeah, I think you just want when you actually start drinking, give your body a break so that way you can feel it quicker. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yep, trying to get my body in shape. I've been I gained too much weight over the holidays, so I'm trying to get back in shape here.
You're not alone, plus. You're not alone.
Trying to get right. Plus, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be one of those hot summers. And then, plus with potential hurricanes, I'm hoping they stay away, but we don't know. I mean, it just seems like the weather gets crazier and crazier every year.
Pick is in
for
the Saints.
All right. Yeah, it looks like we're starting to catch up here. I see Ted McMillan. He just made his way to the stage.
He looks young. I didn't realize how young he was in the face.
Yeah, he's still got a little baby face there still.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm seeing Jaylen Walker.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I suspected he would be in the NFC South, and yet he just goes to a different NFC South team. So, I mean, that kind of fits.
Wait. Hold on.
No, not yet.
That's not confirmed.
Gotcha.
I usually wait for a beat reporter or something, like an equivalent of our Amen.
Yeah, usually
say something.
Usually Nick Underhill's probably your guy for the Saints.
I think that's for people. My strategy: you find one person that you like or respect, and I kind of have their tab up, and then I kind of am going back and forth just between a general search here. I'm seeing offensive tackle Kelvin Banks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they need offensive line, with the retirement of Ramczyk, and then
they didn't pick up the 5th year option.
Yeah, Trevor Penning. They have Fuaga that they drafted last year. So
who's solid.
Yeah.
He's not amazing, but he's solid.
And I think they want to move him probably to the right side. And then you have Kelvin Banks potentially on the left. But I think Banks probably projects. He's one of those tweeners. I think he projects more to the inside, but he could play left tackle if they need him to.
Nick Underhill confirmed Kelvin Banks.
There you go. Yep. So solid pick. I mean, so far, nothing out of the ordinary. We haven't had any other quarterbacks or surprise picks yet. I think it's pretty chalk as far as the top 10
goes. Do you think both Shador and Dart make it to 19?
I mean, that would probably be ideal if the Buccaneers are really looking to trade back.
But okay, so who would you rather trade with? To me, it's the Steelers.
Right.
It's only a 2. Let's just take the Steelers out of it because I think they're too much of a slam dunk.
Right.
Are you really feeling, the Giants, the Browns? Is there maybe a team that I'm missing? I don't love the idea of dropping to the Logan Hall range in the second round.
Yeah.
But with the Steelers, if they just threw a 4th, I don't think Denver's going to take whoever we want.
Right.
But I don't know how valuable. We probably have to get next year's 2, but I don't really want next year's 2. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To drop to the second round.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's a far drop, and I don't think the Bucs want to drop out of the first round. I think if they move back, they would probably want to move back to like the Houston Texans pick, at 25. I could see. So maybe like if an offensive lineman falls to the Bucs pick, I think that would help them. If a stud receiver and the Buccaneers still have defensive prospects on the board that they like, you could see them moving back to maybe 25.
Which the Rams seem to be I don't think, but see, the Rams, I don't know if they're ready to call it quits on Stafford. I know he's having a won't he like retire thing going on lately. But why bring in, I mean, we already know Kelly Stafford's pretty outspoken. Like, do you want to piss Matt Stafford off 5 months before the season? I feel like they would do it for like maybe Shedeur. I think it would be a great fit for Shedeur. Like, I just don't know if they do it. But everyone, I mean, outside maybe the Vikings, everyone behind the Bucs has, except the Steelers, obviously, has a secure quarterback. You got Broncos with Knicks, you got a 20, and then 22 down, you got Herbert, Love, McCarthy, Stroud, Stafford, Jackson, Goff, Daniels, Allen, Mahomes, Hurts. So, like, there's not really that fit. I think Jason's going to ultimately stick and pick, but I'm really hoping the Steelers get a little bit afraid and move up 2 slots, give up like a 4th, maybe like a 6. Like, aren't we missing like a 5th or something?
6th round pick.
So maybe a 4 and a 6 to move up 2 spots.
Right.
Because it's a quarterback. I mean, we moved up 1 spot and traded a 4th for worse, but obviously quarterback's a premium. So, like, that to me is the ideal. Again, take a early day 3 pick, fill in the 6th. I think that's fair for both sides. But they already lost their 2 to Metcalf, but we'll see if they gain something back for Pickens. It's an interesting situation to monitor.
Yeah, I agree. I think the quarterbacks, I mean, there's got to be at least, I think, one more that goes in the first round. Just because when you are taking a quarterback, you want to have that 5th-year option on there. I think it's just so important. It just depends. Like, obviously Cleveland is probably in a better position to move up again if they want to, just because of the picks, the picks they got in return from Jacksonville. So, that puts them in, competition with New York. And we'll see, obviously there's been rumors around Jackson Dart with the Giants. So yeah, a lot of moving parts that should be
Sharkey for WGN TV for Chicago is saying Colston Loveland becomes the first tight end off the board.
There we go. Yeah, I just realized that Tyler Warren hasn't been selected yet. So
yeah, Colston Loveland is now being ran with amongst everyone.
Yeah, I think you're happy if you're a Colts fan. The Colts would love Tyler Warren because I think he's a much better fit for what they want.
They always just find these tight ends too. So like that's why it's like for me, why would you want to wait or use a top 15 pick on a tight end? Because they find Mo Alley Cox has a role in this league. Like, you know what I mean? Like they find all these guys. So very interesting. But yeah, Chicago's pick is in. San Fran, I think, is very interesting.
Yeah, this I was talking about it, I think yesterday on the Buccaneers podcast. I was thinking this could be a spot for Walter Nolan, the defensive lineman. They also need corner. I don't know if it will be, Will Johnson. It looks like Will Johnson could fall out of the first round just because of the medicals. Jahdae Barron, I think, is a perfect fit for what the Niners want. So that does make a lot of sense there.
If Jahdae Barron made it to 19 and Ez, who would you take?
If Jahdae Barron made it where?
To 19.
Oh, to 19? Yeah, I mean,
him or Ezeraku?
Oh, I would probably still lean Ezeraku for
I
that.
agree.
But,
I think you can maybe not Rebel, or if you wanted to, you know, come up a little bit if like Rebel comes down there, or we'll see.
Right.
Heck, even what if the Kentucky corner Hairston, you know, he could. I don't know if the team really sees a first round on him. Maybe he falls. I just trust Jason Light with corner on day 2.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think he's been really good as far as getting the secondary needs in day 2 later on. You know, he just seems to find those type of players that fit, you know, better. So.
Oh, this is funny. Someone tweeted that the 49ers and Cowboys both have a chance to draft Shador with, obviously. They're not going to, but like with his dad's teams. I thought that was kind of funny. They're both back-to-back, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Emeka Williams to 11.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that was, you know, trench picks, you know, coming off the board. That makes sense for San Francisco. Again, Michael is another player that we did a film study on. I'll bring him up. Let me see. Do I have any other ones that went earlier? No, I think is he the first one? Yeah, I think he's the first one that we actually did film study on that has been drafted so far. Yeah, we didn't do any of the top guys.
Well, they're not making it to 19, you know.
Right. But if you're a Niners fan and you're joining the stream, you'll see Michael here. He's number 13. Some of these clips, again, he was playing off a bum ankle. He was hurt for most of the year playing through it. So I think you like his upside, and I think that's where he got injured.
Yeah.
But you know, he's only 20 years old. He's got all the traits that you want: long arms, size, the ability to get after the quarterback. He just needs more development. And I think within 2 years, you're probably looking at a potential, you know, high-end guy that could get you, you know, 8 to 12 sacks on any given year. And I think right now at the floor, I think his floor is pretty good because he's a really good run defender from that aspect. So you're not going to lose much. And he's also a guy you can put out there right away.
No, 100%.
Yep.
I mean, so, Michael Williams, I'm curious that he went a little bit ahead of Jaylen Walker. I kind of saw some
right
of I'm blanking on his name again, from the Eagles, edge.
Hassan Reddick.
I saw some Hassan Reddick in him.
Right.
So I'm curious to see again. I highly doubt Jaylen Walker's making it to 19, but if one of these edges do, I mean, how do you feel like maybe even James Pierce? I know that's a name that doesn't get mocked to us very often, but
yeah,
there's still Mike Green. I think we all can agree is off the board.
Yeah,
but we're 7, 8 picks away. Like there's 4 or 5 edges left. I mean, I don't think Dallas is going edge. Who's after Dallas?
So Dallas, you have after Miami? Dallas, you have Miami. Yeah.
I think Miami has that corner written all over them. Jade Barron. Kyle Krabs loves him some Jade Barron. That's what kind of he's been hearing.
Yeah.
Colts, I think Tyler Warren's there. I think that's the pick. I think Falcons, you know, probably edge. Cardinals maybe. Bengals, depending on whether they want to actually trade Hendrickson or not. Like, we'll see. I think edges or corner, like, I think that's just where you got to go here. I think there's going to be enough of both.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I have no issues, you know, going after trenches, whether that's edge rusher or interior defensive lineman. You know, it'll just be intriguing to see if any calls are made. And like we were talking about earlier, if they're able to trade back and maybe we see a Carson Schlesinger, the linebacker out of UCLA, who I'm perfectly fine with. Again, he has a lot of upside. Again, younger prospect, a guy that can fit everything they want from the linebacker position. And in my opinion, I think linebacker is their biggest need when looking at the defense and looking at potential starters right away.
Chris Paul Jr. is going to be a buck plus, don't you?
Hey, you don't have to tell me twice about that. I am loving Chris Paul Jr.
If he's there in the third, heck, if they took him in the second, I wouldn't be mad.
Right. Yeah, I mean, love Chris Paul. Big fan. We're like his fan account here at Real Bucs Talk.
I hate the comparison to Levante, but like the
Yeah,
physical attributes are there.
they are. Again, a little smaller on the arm length,
Yeah.
but I think instincts and just his ability to get A to B is
Quick.
definitely
It's
on
the
point.
quickness.
Yeah, very fluid.
Again, I learned this from, not that I learned this, but I was listening to Ledyard and Ollie recently. And Ollie was learning a lot of like linebackers from when he was a scout at Western Michigan and coached there. If you want to, this is a good plug for anyone who's just learning tape here. If you ever want to watch linebackers, watch them in the screen game. See how they react to. Do they diagnose it? That tells you film study.
Yeah.
You know, that diagnosing, getting through blocks, that shows you again block shedding, filling lanes, all of that type of fun stuff. So yeah, again, if you're ever watching linebackers, I highly recommend watching. You know, try to find a screen play or two and see how your player reacts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So as you guys are seeing on the screen, those are the picks so far. I think, you know, as far as positions go, it's been pretty balanced. I think we're going to see probably a little bit more offensive line start to fall off the board. Edge rusher is still going to be attacked here. It really depends. Like, I'm intrigued to see where Jahad Campbell actually ends up. Like, I know we've heard the rumors like the floor is Tampa, and then we hear like he could fall out of the first round and be, you know, a second round pick. So
wide receiver going number 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. You want to take a guess of which?
Yeah, we know who this is. Again, Jerry Jones can't help himself not taking Texas players, and it has to be Matthew Golden. The 4.28 or 4.29 speed got him, you know, excited, even though he doesn't play like that on tape. So
the way Micah Parsons there's a video of Micah Parsons reacting to Ted McMillan going 9. Tells me they had 1 and 2 here. So it sounds like they wanted to help Dak. I don't think Dak's going anywhere. To anyone who wants to speculate that, curious why they traded for the quarterback from the Patriots. But again, they got a speed demon to really go with CeeDee Lamb. I think this is great news for CeeDee Lamb. So we'll see. I don't think it's a terrible pick. I just didn't the biggest person who kind of talked me kind of into Matthew Golden, even though he's not fully in on Matthew Golden, was just how bad Quinn Ewers played. I think takes away the scouting opportunity and the pure stats for like that casual fan for Matthew Golden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, here's Matthew Golden on the screen. We did a film study of him, so if you're a Cowboys fan, be sure to check that out.
I like that shake off on the Michigan game.
Oh yeah, I mean he was very nuanced in his route running. I really liked, you know, from, you know, that aspect. Again, good hands catcher. I thought his hands really improved as the year went on. He does have some, you know, occasional drops here or there, but for the most part, I thought his game continued to rise as we got, you know, into the later part of the season. And he's got really good understanding of where to be in zones, knows how to, you know, just run to space. So if you're a Cowboys fan, be sure to check out that video we did of him, and you can hear us, you know, talk about Matthew Golden. But yeah, really fun player. And I think, you know, could definitely complement CeeDee Lamb pretty well. You know, much better than what they've had in the past for sure. So,
no, I'm not saying he's a bad receiver. It's just top 15 was kind of
it's a little rich
question mark. But again, once you take the context of how poor Quinn Ewers played, it talked me back into him. You know, maybe 15 or 12 might be a little rich for my blood, but if you told me he went 15. 18, the speed alone, I think, just takes that extra, you know, notch there. It's not a bad pick. I think it helps CD the most here. I don't even know if it helps. We know Dak's going to get yards if he's healthy. So, like, the Cowboys, they really need help on that defense. Something to go along with Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
I think their secondary is overrated. Yeah, they got a lot of picks, but they also give up a crap ton of yards. So, like, what are you doing? It's the opposite of the Bucs, where we give up a lot of yards, but we just can't pick a ball. They just know how to catch. That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's how it goes. And I was talking about it earlier. I think when you go back to the Bucs and like how disappointing they were, or disappointed that they just didn't get any interceptions. They only had 7 last year. So obviously the emphasis of getting after the quarterback more, playing a little bit more aggressive in coverage, I think is probably the change that we're going to see moving forward. Todd Bowles talked about that as far as changing the overall, scheme and being a little bit different as far as how coverages go. So that will be exciting. And trying to figure out, my draft stream just went out on me. So that's always fun.
You're up for me.
So
all right. Dolphins. They're like halfway through the time right now.
So Dolphins are on the clock.
They're still on the clock.
Okay. And yeah, San Francisco just went with Michael, correct?
Michael, and then
Matthew
Golden
Golden.
12.
Okay. So Dolphins on the clock. I mean, Dolphins need secondary. This could be a spot for Malachi Starks. Could be a spot for Jide Barron. Could be a spot.
My guess is going to be Jade.
Yeah, Jade. I could also see offensive line here.
If you ask Dolphins Nation, they're saying get a quarterback because I just can't trust Tua to make it through the season.
Oh, man.
There's too much money there. You can't do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Tua. Yeah, he's been super inconsistent. Just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Shouldn't be running into defenders. Get down. Figure out how to protect yourself.
Yeah, and it's funny, like when everyone made the big stink that he did the whole, was it Krav Maga or whatever? He was like trying to make sure that he like rolled every time he like fell on his back. Yeah. But then he immediately took a big shot like a game later and was concussed. It was just like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, him and Chris Olave need to figure something out. The new helmets, I don't know what to kind of do there. I mean, Gadecki seemed to not have any trouble after the new helmets.
Yeah, he wore it the rest of the year, and I thought that was really smart to make sure nothing else happens and play. It didn't affect his play. He played really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that continues for him and he wears that helmet, this year. Yeah, for sure. Just checking in on a few guests. We're supposed to have a couple guests here from A to Z Sports. I'm hoping to have Ryan Roberts. He's, I think, going to be joining us here shortly. He's working on some reaction videos for his own channel. So we should have him on joining us. Mark, I think, will be joining us here shortly. He's waiting for his son to fall asleep there. And I think we might have Evan Winter on, but he might not be able to just because of how fast the picks are flying through right now. So.
Yeah, I think they did a pause on the draft because Miami's still on the clock and it's been well over 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I just saw a Dolphins beat reporter saying that the Miami Dolphins are now officially on the clock.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I'm going to go to Kyle Krabs here and see if he's updated.
I wonder if they made a trade.
Wow. The beat reporter said they were sticking.
Wow. So it wasn't Matthew Golden.
No,
it was Tyler Booker. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Don't listen to me, y'all.
How about that?
Even better. Let someone else take a 4-2 receiver.
Yeah.
Why not?
I just hope
Falcons, go get more weapons. Or
I just hope it's not the Bucs because that's been the rumor for J.C. Allen was all over Matthew Golden earlier.
What if the Dolphins did it? Because if they trade Hill,
yeah,
or you just have 3 4-2 guys,
right?
Why not? Yeah. Holy I don't know how I got that wrong.
That's okay. That's okay. They pulled a surprise on us all. We all thought,
I looked. I mean, it was maybe it was a fake beat reporter account, but I mean, Cowboys. I don't really. The Jones are just the Joneses, so like,
yeah.
they're like one of like 3 teams I don't really got anyone for, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Leonard and Ollie talked about this. I mean, them going non-traditional there, but interesting. I mean, obviously they're. I mean, do you think what's his face is a first ballot Hall of Fame left guard?
Who's that?
The Cowboys.
Zach Martin.
Zach Martin.
Yeah, I mean,
first ballot guy.
I think he gets. I don't know. Yeah, first ballot's tough. I mean,
because he didn't play forever, but when he played, he was pretty damn good.
Yeah, he was really good. I mean, when he was out there, he had quite a few Pro Bowls and did all that. But yeah, I don't know. First ballot. I mean, he's going to get in. I just don't know if he gets that recognition right away. Yeah, so I mean that makes sense for the Cowboys. Getting an interior offensive lineman, they need guys up front. Obviously trying to probably run the football a little bit more. Take some pressure off Dak Prescott. So that's intriguing. But with that said, if you guys are just joining us, be sure to hit that like button. Appreciate everyone in here. We have over almost 140 people. So if you're just tuning in, you're in the live stream for Real Bucs Talk. We're covering the NFL draft. We are live and trying to cover every draft pick as it comes up and give you analysis, reaction. Obviously, the Bucs are going to be up here in a little bit, and we got more people coming up as far as guests. We'll have Mark on here, I believe, pretty soon. And then, yeah, I mean, we got more of this tomorrow. Tomorrow night is going to be really fun. I think day 2 is probably my favorite of the NFL draft because we have a lot of guests lined up for tomorrow. That's going to make it very enticing. Could have a local Buccaneers reporter as far as a national reporter, I should say, covers the NFC South. So that should be a lot of fun to talk with him. And we'll also have some other guests. We'll have JT Olson from Bucs Report. We're going to have Tampa Tones from Buccaneers on.
It's going to be a party.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time tomorrow. Definitely.
Fun and informative.
Yes. Very relaxed show, very casual. And we're going to have a lot of fun just talking football and just, making jokes as we go through the time. And we'll see how it shapes up. But I think we're still on pick 13, correct? Still on Miami.
Dolphins 4 minutes left, still on the clock.
Okay. They must have reset the clock, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. There's something going on there. It's been longer than 10 minutes for the Dolphins.
Right.
So.
Right.
Gotta love commercials, man.
Yeah. Okay. So
my indie guy, I know they're not on the clock, but they're saying he's saying it's Warren if he makes it.
I mean, makes the most sense. I mean, that's a perfect fit for their offense. And I mean, can't go wrong with that. Getting essentially a top player in this class at 14. I think you have to be excited about that if you're the Colts. So, yep. Hold on.
All right. From now on, I'm only doing for sure verified people, y'all. We're not making the Matthew goal. I don't think I've ever had that bad of a miss there.
I mean, I was surprised because I looked on my screen that I'm watching the draft on, and it showed Tyler Booker. I was like, wait, when did that happen? But hey, we're not here to be right. We're here about the reactions. We just want to see, if you guys missed the intro, be sure to go back and watch the intro of this stream. A lot of great reactions from over the years. Ken Barrett is a star of the reactions, so a lot of fun.
You had 3 of mine. I was so thankful. Plus,
oh yeah,
because I was only describing them to my girlfriend. Now I'll have them all ready to go, and I can just give her a 30-second snapshot of how crazy I am. See if she still wants to be with me.
There was more, Ken. I had to cut them. I had to cut some out because we were already at. The video was 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I will try. I'm probably going to have a new one for tomorrow. So I'll try to get the ones that I didn't get in today and have that up for tomorrow's show. So that should be a lot of fun to, dive into. And yeah, there was.
What I like about day 2 though is it's just so relaxed. There's 5 minutes? No, 7 minutes between
7-minute picks, and they go pretty quick.
Yeah, and we're going to be a couple picks ahead tomorrow, but it's just going to be a lot more chill. I think we're going to analyze everything that happened day 1 as well. So you just have a constant flow of just communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm waiting for a verified here, but I see a name that's trending. Let's see what Kyle. I'm not saying anything before I see Kyle Krabs confirm.
Yeah, he's a good Miami insider. He knows the Dolphins pretty well. Does great work as in addition to his coverage of the Dolphins. I think does he still have? I think what's his
Draft Dudes with Joe Marino.
Yeah, Joe Marino is another good one. Always appreciate his insight. He talks well about the Buccaneers. In addition,
I will say they took their foot off the gas last year. I would say it was mostly Kyle, but Joe hopped back on. But Joe, before the season, didn't think our secondary. That he didn't think Zion was worth a damn because he saw the reports of what Brian Thomas Jr. was doing, like we talked about earlier. I think people just ate into that. But once the season got rolling, Joe was on board, and then he talked Kyle to be back on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Krillin asks the important questions here. He's asking if we decide what dinner is tomorrow.
Nope.
Oh, there you have it.
No more McDonald's for me.
Is that what you had last year? Is that what?
That's what Krillin wanted, but thankfully I already ordered bonefish before that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
Gotta love Uber Eats. I already beat Krillin before he won the wager there. Good old Graham Barton.
Yeah, that was a funny part in the live stream last year, for sure.
All right,
I don't even remember.
I don't see anything from Kyle. He might just be covering the draft right now. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna find out live.
All right. Ooh, I just saw it, and that's pretty cool.
I haven't. Oh, my screen just froze.
I just saw it. You want to guess what it is?
Oh, I see it now. Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that's something?
Interesting.
Yeah. Good player. I like the
player.
Yeah.
But what is this doing, everyone? That's pushing another good player to the Bucs.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not even loving a trade back right now. I think you can stick and pick and get a stud right now for DB and edge.
Right.
We'll figure out linebacker, but DB and edge, we need those bodies, those talented bodies.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen, the pick is in, and it is Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Let me see if I can add.
Indianapolis Colts pick is in within a minute.
Yeah,
I think we all know where this one is.
Yeah, they weren't wasting any time. Yeah, I'd be surprised if it's not.
This is a Chris Greer special.
Yeah, I'd be very shocked if it's not Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
I mean, he just makes all the sense in the world. But that is awesome to see Kenneth Grant as the number 2 defensive tackle off the board. There's a lot of hype about, Walter Nolan, but again, he also comes with some character concerns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I answered you about James Pierce. James Pierce, kind of same thing, has some character concerns.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So that's
yeah. So on his tape, there were some good things, but then at the same time, I just didn't see enough consistency, especially for a guy that, ran a 4.4. You would just think, that burst would be more consistent. At times it was there, and then at times it wasn't. So there was just little things in his pass rush arsenal that was kind of concerning. I also heard he's kind of a me guy. He's not really, a team person. At least that's what I've heard. But again, that could be false. But yeah, I mean, Pierce, that would be an interesting pick. I mean, I wouldn't I wouldn't
He's a
be
big
mad
boy.
at it.
He's a
Yeah,
big boy.
I wouldn't be mad at James Pierce because again, he's super athletic and has the upside.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
that was a
waiting
quick.
on confirmation, but
That was quick by Indianapolis. Yeah, Roger Goodell's coming up to the
yeah, it's
podium
Tyler.
now. Yeah. So
Again, I'm not going to Matthew Golden anymore, everyone.
so with that said, we're going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, my good friend, Mark Ramirez. Mark, welcome. How you liking this draft so far? Because it's been pretty cool to see.
First of all, it took a little bit. Yeah. Liam Cohen making some noise early on. That's pretty cool. Goes out and get a guy that he wants to use in a tool, right? I thought that was pretty crazy. But other than that, I mean, it's been a bunch of, I guess, slosh. I mean, like a bunch of guys are all kind of the same kind of caliber, and you're not like, yeah, the Tyler Booker one blew me for a loop, I guess. A guard that high blows my mind. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, a bunch of guys are around the same caliber player. So it's like no one's really reaching. No one's really getting studs. It's like it's all kind of the same. And like some people get mad that tight end went top 10, but I'm like, he's a pretty damn good prospect.
Yeah.
And we did film study on him. So it's like,
right.
I don't know. It's a lot of the same type of dudes, but still there is talent there. But I mean, this is what this draft was going to be. I think the Browns actually trading back was a smart move, even though the Travis Hunter thing is like, oh, you got rid of a generational type of guy. Okay, well, if he went to the Browns, he's probably going to suck regardless. The Browns just know how to turn shit into shit. So it is what it is. But either way, I think it's a smart move by them business-wise.
It was a big price to pay, but again, I think Josh Caper was on here and he said it best. I think that's a true both, like for the Browns, you asked to be an offer you can't refuse. I think that was an offer you can't refuse. And the Jaguars really needed those two positions pretty badly. So I think it's a win-win. But we know Liam Cohen, what he can do from a positive standpoint. We also know he can be doing things, a little bit more interesting than some of the head coaches out there. But it'll be fun watching Jacksonville. I mean, they'll have their marquee guy now. It's not Lawrence.
Yeah.
There's offense all over now.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of picks, you've had some, trench players in there. It's been pretty balanced, but again, like we were saying earlier, Tyler Warren, I think, perfect fit for what the Colts want. Kenneth Grant, I wanted to bring up, so here's his highlights. We did a film study on him as well, and he was a lot of fun to watch. And if you're a Miami Dolphins fan joining the stream, be sure to check out our video up on the channel. And he has a lot of upside to his game. I think at very worst, he's a high floor player that could play nose tackle or the 3 technique position. And it can be kind of like, moved around across the defensive front and give you a lot of options there. So yeah, definitely like the pick for Miami because they need that push up the middle and you're adding more to your pass rush. You already have Chop Robinson. You have to feel good about that. I think they still have, what's the other guy's name? Jaylen, forget his last name. Jaylen from Miami. He's another edge rusher as well.
Phillips.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips. Yeah. So, but yeah, if you're a Dolphins fan, be sure to check out our film study up on Real Bucs Talk YouTube channel, so you can find them there under our playlist of 2025 NFL Draft. Got a bunch of videos in there to check out. So.
Yeah, he would have been fun next to Vita and then move Cansey out to the 5. That'd be
right. Yeah, for sure. So got the Falcons up on the clock.
Still on the clock, baby.
This should be.
You think they're trying to get out? Maybe.
I think they were one of the rumored teams to potentially trade down. Let me see if so. Here's like the potential targets based on NFL.com. Jaylen Walker, I think, would be interesting. Shamar Stewart. Mike Green, I think, is like probably the favorite for them, but they also want secondary help too. So maybe we see a Malachi Starks, maybe a Will Johnson, Jedi.
Just take Jihad Campbell. Just do it.
Right.
Just do it. Get him off the Bucs fans' minds. Just do it.
I mean, but realistically, board's going how it should be. Off-ball linebackers shouldn't go in the top 15. I couldn't believe seeing Jaylen Walker and Jihad Campbell that high. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But other talking points. Krillin, good memory here. Heads up, Chad. If you see a dark figure behind Ken, it's a demonic spirit, not just a dog.
That was a last year thing.
That scared the living shit out of me. I thought it was about to start screaming, and that thing from the ghost was going to come after me.
Man. I can't believe it. There's 2 minutes left, and they're still on the clock.
Yeah. We're going to let another guest join us from A to Z Sports, Ryan Roberts. Welcome to the Real Bucs Talk live stream. How are we doing? It's good to see you, my man.
I appreciate it, guys. It's been busy, man. We're doing banged out like 10 to 12 reaction videos, so it's been a little bit more wild than I anticipated. How's everything going for you guys?
It's going good, man. We're enjoying it. It's kind of chalk so far as the draft. There's been some surprise picks. I think Tyler Booker took us by a little surprise there. We thought it was going to be Matthew Golden, but it ends up being Tyler Booker. So, I mean, let's get your thoughts. I mean, how do you feel so far? How are things shaping up as far as the draft goes?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, there's nothing like too overly shocking. I got a tip earlier that Carolina was going to go defense at pick 8. So like Ted did take me off guard slightly there, it's not that I didn't think that they could eye a pass catcher potentially at that spot, because I think it's obviously needed with, hoping to, continue the maturation of Bryce Young to what we saw later in the season last year. But I really thought that they were going to go defense, whether it was a Jaylen Walker or a Michael Williams, like something like that made a decent amount of sense. But that was only the real I don't want to say shocking, but like that was a slightly surprising one. I think that Dallas with Booker was definitely, and I like Booker a lot, and I'm actually pretty higher on Booker comparatively to a lot of people, I think. But pick 12 was definitely a little like, that was a little bit interesting for sure. So I mean, but yeah, for the most part, it's been pretty quiet overall. I'm slightly not shocked. I was, I guess, slightly surprised also that Colston Loveland was the first tight end off the board. I wasn't shocked that he went number 10 overall, but I did think that Warren would probably go a couple picks earlier. But yeah,
right.
Falcons took it to the 23-second mark before the pick was in.
Do we know the pick yet? I don't have it in front
of
me.
I don't have it leaked yet, but
leaked. Yeah.
I mean,
Jordan Schultz has been a good leaker tonight on Twitter. He's been a very good leaker tonight. So,
yeah.
I kind of don't really like to see the leaks on Twitter, though. I don't know about you guys. I like to see it flash on my screen. I don't know. Just kind of traditionalist, I guess.
It was cool the first time because you felt like you were in the know.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, no, I want the excitement.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, I got that on the Cowboys pick when it flashed Tyler Booker. I was like, wait, what happened? Because I was fully expecting Matthew Golden, but didn't go
one
through.
good thing for you guys, for like the Buccaneers side of things, I feel like the board's fallen pretty good at 19 so far, right?
Yeah, one of my guys just came off the board to the Falcons. I'll hold off.
Okay.
Obviously, this discussion. But just to give you, Ryan, like a lot of our discussion, plus tonight at least, edge and corner. That's kind of what our hopes are here.
Yep.
I think from an edge and corner standpoint, you still got Jahdae Barron on the board. Our guys like Ezraku, we'll see what happens with Sanders and Dart. So like, we don't want to fall. Like, I don't think Light, given how the board's falling, wants to probably get out into the second round with the Browns or Giants or whoever. Sure. So I other than maybe the Steelers, I think we're going to stick and pick. I think there's enough good guys here, considering who's in front of the Bucs, to make a good pick here.
Yeah, I think corner is the one spot that I've heard a lot for the Buccaneers just in general. I know like the long term for like Jamel Dean is kind of a little bit up in the air and all that type of stuff. So I've heard a lot of corner conversation. I think I have a pretty good. If I'm still on here, I might have to give you guys a little bit of maybe some info, but I can't really say it now type of thing. But I think I have a decent idea of who it might be at 19 if the board falls the way I think it could, but we'll see. I mean, but it's going to be an interesting pick because, I mean, if you have a Jahdae Barron on there and a Will Johnson and Maxwell Hairston or like a couple other guys, Malachi Starks. Like it becomes a very interesting conversation for Tampa, right? Because that's a lot of options that I think at one point we didn't think were all going to be there at pick 19.
Right.
So
yeah, not
Yeah,
at
you
all.
look at a PFF mock draft machine. A lot of like I feel like Bucs guys, other than maybe Ez and an occasional Campbell, like a lot of those guys were coming off.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Was that like your breadcrumbs right there, naming all those guys?
No, I mean maybe, but I can't tell you right now. Maybe if I'm on still, then maybe we'll circle back and be like, yeah, you picked it up. That breadcrumb was out there, and maybe somebody picked it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I think that me safely saying that I think corner is the spot I'm kind of honing in on. If that's the breadcrumb we want to attack, I guess that could be it.
I mean, we aren't going to disagree with you. The only thing that just makes it interesting: Dean, Davis, Murphy, Bunting, second round picks, or second and third round picks. So like, that's Jason. I mean, MJ Stewart. We know he didn't work out, but another day 2 guy.
Yeah.
So that's the MO, but we shall see. I don't know how many corners are going to be there in the middle of the second round, though. That's to your point. Yeah. So that's why, to me, it was always take the edge, figure out corner. But if edge isn't there, stick pick, get your corner, be happy.
Here's an interesting question for you guys as far as like, let's say it is a corner at 19 and you have all those options that we kind of briefly hit on. I do feel like Coach Bowles has a specific type of corner he does prefer, right? So my question is for you guys covering the Bucs, being on that side of things, is there a guy that would be like, that has to be the guy if all those options are still on the table?
I mean,
Revel would be awesome, Mark, not at 19.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I like Benjamin Morrison.
Oh,
okay.
I mean,
you got a Revel and a Morrison. Revel and
Morrison. Yeah, the Morrison I think is an ideal fit. It's just the medical concerns, with the hips. So that's unfortunate.
Corner with a hip injury is kind of a scary thing for me.
And one of our buddies is saying Hairston from Kentucky. He's 2 inches shorter, but obviously has the speed.
Yeah.
So like he's outside of the box in terms of Bowles' type, but he seems to be liked within the building. I've heard from more than just that one person about Hairston. So I hope it's not Hairston.
Oh, really?
But
really?
We'll see.
You got, you know what? All right.
But then again, it doesn't really matter who we've talked to. We didn't talk to Kalijah Cansey once, and we took him.
Yeah,
like that was off of no one's board, and and that's why I was so surprised. I was like, we're not going to look at him. And all of a sudden we take him. I was erupting because it was the best pick possible.
You both were. So we lived this Ryan with Cansey 2 years ago, and Mark was on here just being like, "No, it's not going to be Cansey. Like Cansey's my guy, or our guy, but it's not going to be Cansey. It's not going to be Cansey." Right. And then I gave him a look, and it was like, "Oh, they went outside the box," So Bowles is saying he's figured out something about his defense that he wants to change. No one knows what, obviously. So, I mean, I think the first 2 days are going to tell a lot about Bowles. I think maybe one offensive player, maybe 2 max. It's going to be a defensive heavy draft.
Yeah, that's interesting. I always wonder because obviously I'm not on that side of it, right? Like I'm more like a general like NFL draft, like wide scale. So it's always interesting to see like how programs like the Bucs, for instance, because like some teams you can get a lot more out of like who's coming in for 30 visits, who's meeting with who at the combine, like that kind of gives you those breadcrumbs, right? But then there's others where it's just like, I mean, like the Rams don't even do 30 visits, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, I have no idea what to go off of there, which is just the ideology is pretty fascinating to me of like each team.
Cardinals, very interesting pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Jaylen Walker went 15 to the Falcons.
Yeah.
Put that up there, plus.
Yeah, I'll get that back on there. But Ryan, your thoughts of Jaylen Walker? I mean, just interesting evaluation because, like, do teams see him as an edge, or do you just try him out there at linebacker?
It's really fascinating because, like, there's a fine line between being versatile and being a tweener, right? Like there's a very fine line. You want to be on one side versus the other. You know what I mean? Like it's great if you can do multiple things, but if you have like those tweener traits where it's like, are you really an edge or are you really a linebacker? You're not actually that valuable, right? Like, and we've seen that with a couple guys. I mean, like Isaiah Simmons is a perfect example of like, he's a great athlete. He can do several different things, but like, does he major in one thing? Does he have a solid foundation where that's your calling card and you could build off of it because you're a versatile player? I'm personally just very worried about Jaylen Walker because I think that he really needs to be with a creative defensive coordinator. I really think that fit matters so much for him because I actually kind of prefer him in like the Hassan Reddick arc potentially because Hassan
that
Reddick
was my
like
comp to him. Like if he made it to 19, if you're worried about Reddick leaving, I thought he was the guy.
Yeah. And honestly, he would have been perfect, like just to learn from Reddick there, right? And then
Same body, same moves, same off ball, edge rusher flexibility. Like he's a good guy to just probably learn. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Well, Reddick was so weird at Temple because like he was a full on ball guy at Temple, and then at the Senior Bowl, they're like, no, you're an off ball guy because of the size or whatever. Then he goes to the Cardinals, and the first like couple years, it's like the guy stinks because you're asking him to do something that he's not good at, right? But then he finally just let him loose and go be a pass rusher, and he's one of the better pass rushers in the NFL for a while, ultimately. I'm just really curious because like I don't love Jaylen Walker as an off-ball linebacker. I think his eyes are like very inconsistent, right? But like I do like a lot of the rush potential with him. I'm just curious if like I would imagine Atlanta's going to rush him a lot because they had one of the worst pass rushes we had ever seen last year, right? So I imagine he's going to play on the ball a lot, but I mean, that's my hope ultimately. I really think that if he's like it's cool to call a guy a Swiss Army knife and a weapon and all that type of thing, but like if you're doing too many things and he's not comfortable doing one thing to start out with, I do worry about a guy just being misused a lot personally.
Yeah, but to your point, it's the fit that matters. Like if you're a Swiss Army knife, you want to go to a Bulls, you want to go to Minnesota, like you want to go to those types of places. But like if you're going to be under an old school guy, probably not the best, The NFL is so much driven off athletes. Athletes are great, but we see it on the offensive line. The arm length, to a certain standpoint, does matter. Defensive line, your bend from an edge perspective matters more than being 6'5", 230. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like all of those things, or 260, excuse me. Like you need to have those checked off boxes. A little bit of speed helps, quickness helps. Like again, check off those boxes, but get used to failure and learn from failure. That's just what's gonna. And if you're in a good spot and a good coach that's gonna nurture you, great. But
yeah,
we're getting closer.
Pick, by the way, just saw the
Walter Nolan.
Yeah, just saw it. Yeah.
Walter Nolan to the Cardinals.
No, but I'll say this. I mean, I think
Jaylen
Walker went to a good spot though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I mean, Ron knows how to use guys creatively. I mean, Kobe Turner, defensive tackle, but he was an undersized guy. Byron Young, how he used him. Like, he just got sacks from guys you didn't even know who the hell they were. So, I think he'll use them creatively. And I'm trying to be quiet because the son's, again, he's being the boy.
He's acting up.
I have two daughters sleeping upstairs, so I'm fully there with you. I get it. I get it.
I'm getting the text of you're being too loud. I'm like, I'm whispering.
Turn it down. Turn it down. Yeah.
Right.
Mark, shut up.
Right. And the eyeball emoji.
Yeah. It's just bursting out of the phone. It's about to hit you.
Well, depending how you feel about the Bucs pick in a couple selections, I think you might get that text message. I don't know. I'm a little excited or a little upset. I don't know which one it'll be. So
I'll get my reaction out before I look at the text.
Yeah. So Walter Nolan goes to Arizona. We did a film study of him. He's a another intriguing player. Has a lot of disruption on tape, but it's kind of up and down. There's been some character concerns as well as far as just overall consistency and just stuff at practice I've heard and stuff like that. But I mean, what's your thoughts, Ryan, of Walter Nolan?
I think if it was just about talent, he's probably a top 10, top 15 player in this class, right?
Right.
I've personally just have heard I think a little bit too much about him, just from like the personal side of things. Like I just have heard too many things that just kind of give me a lot of pause. And it's not just this year at Ole Miss. It was some stuff at Texas A&M his previous 2 years. It was some stuff of him coming out of high school as well, as far as like maybe not being the best teammates, maybe not being, the most coachable all the time and all these. I mean, if he's locked in and you get the best out of him, he's a value at 16 potentially. I'm a little worried to bet into the person before I get to the football player, if that makes sense. So just a little worried about that kid.
No, absolutely. And then, here with the Bucs, I mean, that is something that they talk about a lot here. They really value, who the person is. They make sure they have those boxes checked first before, the tape. Obviously you want the tape and all that to match, but they really care about, who the guy is, on and off the field.
Well, I'll say Jonathan Gannon obviously is the head coach. I mean, when he was in Philadelphia, he had some pretty dang good interior defensive linemen, right? So like I definitely get hopefully he's your Fletcher Cox. Hopefully I know he didn't coach, he didn't coach Jalen Carter, but in theory, that's just kind of how the Eagles have been built, right? The interior defensive line has kind of always been good with Fletcher Cox and Jalen Carter now. And even before that, it's always, I mean, Corey Simon back in the day and all those guys too, right? Like they've always just had good interiors. So I get the ideology. I hope it works out. If I'm just being like, I guess cautiously optimistic on it. Talented kid. We just have to see if everything else is kind of all those other boxes are checked.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. Yeah, we got since
though he should have went to a team that has like good defensive leadership.
Yep. Which is 100%. A worry, right? Like that's a little bit of a worry on that team. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. Oh, Cincinnati's doing an interesting one. Wow.
Is it another defensive player?
It is another defensive player. Yep.
I mean, that's all they need.
Yeah. Well, they're the easiest team to mock for. It's like you could just select defensive players every single mock, and it's just like, yep, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. I have a feeling, I mean, I'm thinking it's Mike Green, but
it is not Mike Green.
Okay. Mike Green. Interesting. So Mike Green continues to drop.
It better be a corner then.
It's not a corner.
Do you have an edge from an SEC school, Ryan?
Oh, wait, that was the pick?
I'm asking you, is that who you think? I thought you made it seem like you knew.
Yes. Yeah, I know who it is. Yeah, it's an edge from an SEC school. Yes, you're correct.
Oh, maybe a James Pierce Jr.
Is it Campbell then?
Who's that?
Is it Jod Campbell or no?
Nope, not Jod Campbell.
Really?
I think it's James Pierce.
No.
You said no.
Oh, it's not
James Pierce. No.
Think ceiling.
Oh, Shamar Stewart. Oh my God. Shamar Stewart. Oh God. I couldn't with his tape.
Whoops.
Like we were watching his tape and I'm like, what is this? I understand he's got the traits, but just doesn't seem like he knows how to play football.
You know what
Trey Hendrickson's over there thinking? I don't know.
My main takeaway watching Shamar Stewart is 1, that kid's really talented. 2, he doesn't really know what he's doing. And 3, I think Jay Bateman is like the worst defensive coordinator I've ever seen for Texas A&M, because they asked Nick Skeleton to bulk up 30 extra pounds coming from Purdue. They used that kid very strangely. Like it was a weird watch of Texas A&M football this year.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I think. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, and
go ahead,
Mark. No, go ahead, Mark.
But isn't that scary that your one of your talking points is it doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. You're gonna take him.
Terrifying. Yeah,
right?
It's terrifying. Yeah.
How can you take a guy like that in the first round just based off of traits? That just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't do it, but
especially with what's on the board.
Yeah, my weird thing with traits sometimes is I have typically bet on traits on the edge because I do think it's very important. I think it's one of the more important positions as far as like testing and everything. But I really only like to bet on traits like fully if I could tell that the player has like an idea of what he's doing, as far as like, because I can teach hand usage all day, right? Like I can add tools to the toolbox, but like awareness is like a thing that is kind of hard to build into a player, right? Like knowing how to locate, knowing what's coming, like that kind of intuitive nature to your position. And Shamar is an interesting watch because I think there's some points where I'm just like, I'm not really sure he knew that the ball carrier was there, which is why he misses a lot of tackles and misses a lot of plays in general. But
yeah, but of course, there's on ESPN, there's the Myles Garrett comp.
No.
Okay.
I mean, athletically, if you look at RAS, he's the best edge ever. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm hoping for the best because I am a Notre Dame guy. So Al Golden's their new defensive coordinator. Who's at
I
Notre
hate
Dame,
Al Golden. If you ever want an Al Golden story off there, Ryan, I got one for you.
Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that! I've only had.
He
good
recruited me
interactions.
at one point. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
Expand on that. Expand. This is
I don't know if I can put this out in the universe. I can do this in private.
Can.
Mark, you know, how about this? Mark, you know that I went to high
Come on.
school with a current NFL player that was a top 10 recruit in the nation.
Okay.
And I heard private conversations that occurred there. And their offensive line coach, you all know I only played 1 year of high school football. So the offensive line coach was recruiting me. And I had an interaction with Al Golden that immediately turned me off on Miami. But the all-line coach was just so good. He's been there forever. So they kind of were my backup at one point. But then I just had to cross them off because of Golden and just how I couldn't play for someone that kind of treated me the way that he did. I just leave it at that.
So here's a good thing. Al Golden to me was a Temple coach and was a Notre Dame coach. I don't think of anything in between. So we're good there. We scratch Miami out of the history books. We're fine.
Fair enough.
I think they would like to scratch that out of the history books too, because that was not great times either for Miami football. So yeah.
Because I only played in 1 year, Ryan, they had a lot of recruiting violations. So they were kind of limited, which made a player like me appealing.
Yeah.
But also risky at the same time. So I get it.
And it was a really weird job for him to take because he knew that he was walking into recruiting violations. You know? Like, it was a very strange one. Yeah. Very strange that time. All right. Looks like the Bucs.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh no.
This is interesting. Oh, when we get Evan Winter on, Wes. When we get Evan Winter on for this one.
Well, Evan, I don't think Evan's going to join us tonight, unfortunately.
Oh, darn. Well, I want to talk to Evan about this tomorrow.
Evan's literally texting me right now. So
I'm telling you, this was Evan's guy.
Is it going to be Maxwell?
No.
No.
Small profile offensive, let's just say line player.
Oh, they actually went offensive line. They went with Zabel.
Not the Bucs. The Seahawks did.
Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I thought that's who it was for a second when you said that. I saw the flash and I'm like, no way.
I would have broken the damn screen.
Yeah.
I just know, and I've heard from multiple people that the Bucs really liked Gray Zabel, but obviously weren't going to do it.
Right.
But that they really liked him.
So I can give you that little tidbit. So I can't say too much because I do have a buddy that works with the Bucs, and I have a pretty good conversation there. They actually loved Gray Zabel. They really do like Gray Zabel. And I think if he was on the board, they would have at least thought about it. But I don't think that was their top guy on the board. So just a little context there, I guess. So yeah,
I think this board just played out perfectly for the Bucs.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Pittsburgh Steelers come up, move back 2 spots. Like, that's my goal here.
I'm going to say this. Plus, I told you so, first of all. And second of all, if they draft anything but defense, I'm going to lose my damn mind.
Scott Reynolds said no to that, Mark.
It said no to what?
That is going to be, they won't be an offensive player.
As it shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just giving you peace of mind.
I think Zabel was the only wrench into that conversation, and the fact that he's off the board, I don't even think it's a talking point of the board. To be honest with you.
Can I?
All right, so we can take Matthew Golden off. All right, good.
I would be based on the conversation I had, I would be absolutely shocked if Matthew Golden was the pick. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, Mark is relieved. All right.
I
And
know he just had a 30 visit, and I think that one of the coaches kind of did like him a little bit, but like based upon just kind of the feedback, I don't think that he's even in the conversation right now.
and Ken,
All right, Bucks are
don't
5 minutes into the clock.
look, Ken. Let's just make this.
I think
but I
trade
can
down.
react and not say anything.
I think we trade down.
I don't know about. I don't want to trade out of the first round, but if the Rams, if they really think about this Stafford thing, I don't think they are. But I just would really love the Steelers.
No, we're
let Light think those 30 teams, the Giants and the Browns. Let the Steelers think that's going to happen. Hey, Tomlin. Hey, Khan. Just give us like a 4th and a 6th. Slide back, fill in our 6, give us the little extra bonus.
I mean, where's the hype? Let's get some.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's 19. We're on the clock.
Well, Mark, you said you had to be quiet though, or else you were going to get a text message.
I just got a text saying the door is closed. He's asleep.
Nice,
I'm gonna get a little bit more rowdy. I'm excited.
Yeah, Mark is ready.
Oh,
We're
pick is
halfway done with the clock.
in. Pick is in. Supposedly Denver's on the clock, so we didn't trade it.
We did not trade it. Pick is in.
All right, here we go.
Ryan said it's defensive player. Has to be.
So
I'm getting a little nervous.
And you were giving breadcrumbs of a corner. I would not be mad at all if it's a superior athlete. I'm a huge Jahdae Barron fan, but he's too short for Todd Bowles. But our biggest need is linebacker.
Just very interested to see if I'm right on this one.
We got a Todd Bowles who can use different guys in different ways.
Yeah.
Michael, if I am right, then you could text Evan to verify that I told him that it would be this player. So
okay, I will.
We'll see here.
Shedeur Sanders to the Bucs. I'm just kidding.
I forgot Shedeur's still on the board. That's hilarious. Yeah, so much for Jackson Dart, top 10, by the way. Worst rumor out there.
Of course, it's a commercial on the Bucs pick. Are you kidding me?
That's what I was gonna say.
Right?
Come on, man.
I'm not even look. Let's see.
If if Jahad Campbell didn't have the medical concerns, obviously I think this would be easy.
And I said that
easy selection.
I'll wait till after this, but I know a little something about Jahad. I'm not sure if you know it, Pless.
I think I do.
If you know it, Mark, but it's not the shoulder. That's all I'm going to say to people.
Jahad? Oh, I reported on it earlier. He's got a degenerative knee issue, so it's out there. Yeah.
All right, I never said it. It's Ryan.
I'm sorry.
Ryan, thank you because
that's why we have Ryan on
affiliated
with me.
Yeah, he's got thing with both shoulders and he's got the knee issue apparently. So he's got a lot.
But I forgot who said it yesterday, Ryan. Someone tweeted out. I think Chad Forbes or someone said that. Forget the medicals. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I just saw the pick.
You guys know it before me.
Mark's gonna be upset.
It's offense.
Yeah.
No,
it's actually offense.
So Scott Smith lied to me. Is it a receiver?
I actually like the player. I like him more than Matthew Golden.
If it's who I see, it's Josh Capo is gonna love this guy.
Yeah, he's gonna like him a lot.
Maybe Light's thought is there's so many good defensive guys that he's just going to go defense from here on out.
It's going to have to be. I mean, that was our only thing. I was kind of making the case of like one of the tight ends, but
I'm all for scoring more points. So this helps you score more points.
Yeah.
Is it Matthew?
It's not Matthew.
No, it's not Golden. It's not a receiver.
It's your boy Luther Burden. Isn't it?
No.
Well, either way,
this guy's
a prototype of one of the Bucs receivers.
Yeah, he is a
is he Ohio State guy?
Yeah, he's a copy of Chris Godwin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
He's a good player.
I did not see that one coming.
I'm surprised though. I feel like you could have
I understand it. I understand
it, but it's just deep. Like we can't draft any offensive players. Like again,
I agree.
No, it's going to be all defense the rest of the way.
Again, I might have to jump after this one, but I would just say that I am pretty shocked about that pick. To be honest, I thought I'll let it out now because it didn't happen, so it doesn't matter. But I thought it was going to be Maxwell Hairston. I did. I thought it was.
I did too.
I really did. I really did. Yeah.
I mean, the hype train was going high on him.
Yeah,
the Bucs love him. The Bucs love him, and I think
He
they
might be
anticipate
there
him
round
moving on.
2 for all we freaking know.
Yeah,
That's the scary part, right?
yeah. Ryan, we appreciate the time, man.
Absolutely.
It's awesome having you on, and we'll definitely have to get you on in the future for sure. So let everyone know how they can follow you, and obviously you have a great YouTube channel of your own as well.
Yeah. If you want to go to A to Z Sports Film Room on YouTube, don't leave this channel right now. Just go there afterwards. We're doing a bunch of recap videos and everything, so go there after that at Rise and Draft on Twitter and A to Z Sports for all the NFL draft. And if you like college football, do some college football stuff over there as well.
Awesome, man. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Fellas. Absolutely, guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate you.
You too, man.
I'm in shock, guys.
Okay,
So
go ahead and
there it
talk
is.
about it. I'm gonna get another drink because I know I'm drinking for you because you're not drinking. I heard that earlier on, but I'll see you soon, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
All
Mark.
right, Plus, thoughts.
I'll be right back.
Well, Josh Capo is going to be super ecstatic. I
Yes,
love
Capo on the. He's probably on Peter Report, but Capo, if you're out there, I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Get your ass back on here.
right.
Your
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, Emeka Egbuka, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But when I had a feeling that receiver could be in play, I didn't expect it to be round 1. I thought round 2, if they were going to take one, early. But this guy, I mean, again, this is what I was talking about earlier when the Buccaneers, they factor in the person so much. And this guy is a standout character 100%. Like, he is a leader. He's a dog as far as receiver, like does the dirty work. He is a Chris Godwin clone. And if they have concerns about Chris Godwin coming back this year, you put this guy in and he can play outside or inside. Gives you a lot of options. And guess when the Bucs won the Super Bowl? They had 4 legit receiving options on offense. And now you have 4 weapons that can attack. You have 4. Yeah, 4.
That's just a receiver.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's not Kate Otten. Kate Otten,
So-
I think if you want to take Kate Otten for what he was when all of the receivers went out,
Yeah.
I think Kate Otten is the best 5th option in the passing game that you can find.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm in utter shock.
I think the value, the player meets up. Like, Mark, I was telling Ken this.
Good.
This guy is an all, like, he fits the bill as far as Buccaneers man, to a T. Like, he's super, like, you can see like his reaction, like he's super excited about this pick. This is dumb. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but you gotta score in this league, and you help Baker Mayfield out even more, giving him another weapon. And I think we can fully expect that the Buccaneers like the value on day 2 of the defensive players. Who knows? Maybe Jahad Campbell is there in round 2 and they take a chance on him. There's still a lot of good players. Corner, I think, will be definitely targeted. Safety, defensive line. I know everyone was hoping for the edge rusher, but they brought in Hassan Reddick for a reason. They really like Chris Braswell. You have Anthony Nelson as well, Yaya Diaby. So I think they feel good about that room moving forward. And now with Egbuka adding to Jaylen McMillan, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans, you have 4 legit receiving options. And if one of those guys get hurt, you don't have to worry about Ryan Miller, Sterling Shepard, Raheem Jarrett, Trey Palmer coming in, who don't really have much to give as far as receiving threats.
I mean, I'll say this. I agree. He's 100% Buccaneer man. Like, every damn guy that I watch that does draft content said, this is a man that I would always take. I'd rely on. Right. I want him in my locker room. I would lean on. He's good, not just to motivate players, but to depend on. Like, that is a typical Buccaneer guy, right? Not only is that, he literally puts up numbers. He doesn't have elite speed. Okay, cool. Chris Godwin, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the exact same because Chris Godwin had like almost 4.3 speed. I think he had like 4.41. I think he was pretty quick.
Yeah.
This guy don't have that, but he has possession. He has good hands. He has anything you want for consistency. Absolutely. Do you want that? Yes. Like you just said, 4 deep for those that were whining and bitching last year nonstop. Oh my God, we need a number 1. Well, now you do. You got a potential number 1 at your 4 receiver. I head scratch at it, but like Plus just said, I mean, we're going to outscore everyone. You're going to make it easier for Baker. We're clearly not going to be a tight end driven offense, so scratch that off, and that's just run and gun. I mean, there's going to be no rest for any defense. But you got to look at it in that way, in that hype train way, because like defensively, I think the rest is going to be all defense. Chris Paul Jr. is still on the board, guys, so I'm not upset. I wanted defense, but still, my deepest of hearts, I want Chris Paul Jr. as a Buccaneer. Like I said that even in a video, I wanted him in the first damn round.
The way this draft went, though, Mark, he might be round 2. If they just are going after their guys, I don't think you can be mad at it. Before you hop on, Plus, Joshua Capo, Egbuka gives age insurance on Evans, injury insurance on Godwin, regression insurance on McMillan, number 11 on my vertical board, wide receiver 2 overall for Josh Capo.
Yeah, and because it was a very, how would you say, again, a slosh. That's the word I want to use. Like, it's like a bunch of talents about the same. Like Luther Burden, great athlete, but he had one great year. Then what the hell happened to production last year? Travis Hunter, one of the best prospects in the draft, but is he a receiver or a cornerback? He probably had him behind him. Ted McMillan, really big athlete. He's not Mike Evans, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Like I like the pick. Do I love it? Not yet. But the thing is, you can see the potential of what the hell this offense can be. I guarantee Baker's losing his shit.
Baker's got to be a happy man, and it's also pronounced, according to Greg Allman, of course, our guy, Emeka Egbuka. So the G is silent in his last name.
Egbuka, yeah. Emeka Egbuka.
Egbuka, correct.
Yeah.
He's going to be a slot monster. Monster.
Yeah, but apparently, I mean, I'm seeing Ledyard. I'm going to be honest. I didn't really watch much Egbuka because I didn't think he's big.
We'll have a film study on him tomorrow.
Plus, get started on it now, Plus.
Yeah. Plus.
We'll get the tape.
Not sleeping tonight. Get Plus some Red Bulls. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing he's a vertical threat here as well. So he's going to do the Godwin stuff. Is a vertical threat. So okay, I'm seeing a lot of hate on this pick. On the Twitter land, I have to disagree here. I mean, when we're talking about defense, though, every position that we're talking about right now is depth.
Yeah.
Egbuka, we know Godwin might start off the season a little slow, maybe not be 100%.
Might not. He might be on IR to start the season.
I'm seeing that he could potentially be on. Fans are afraid he's going to be on PUP or you know anything like that. So, like again, you have, as Josh said, you got the Godwin insurance. We know Evans is always a hamstring pull away. I think we all can agree McMillan isn't a number 1.
I can agree with
He's very good, but I don't know of a number 1. And I was the guy who Plus played the clip. I was excited when we drafted him.
Yeah, I saw that.
But
I was there.
He's not a number 1.
Wow.
He's number 2. He could be a number 2. I think he'd be a good number 2.
Hey, and we heard Jason Light telling on a pod. Was it? No, it wasn't a podcast.
Today Barron just went 20, by the way, guys, to Denver.
Shit, I mean that's one I would have wanted right there. But again, he's an inch short, so I guess it doesn't. And I think he has short arms too. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But a hell of a heady player. I mean, of all the receivers that Ohio State pushes out, they're all good.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And people were saying this guy is probably one of the better of them. He just doesn't have the elite traits that all the other ones had. So I'll take a good person. Like, again, Jason Light says it every damn year. We're drafting the person over the player. Like, because if you already showed it on tape, you're good. If you're a better person, we're going to take you and depend on you. Like, you're going to make us look good because you're a good person. Like, it's like that in every way of life.
And I think this is
people. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I think this is another pick where the Buccaneers, I don't believe, met with Egbuka. I think they they didn't have him. They didn't have him in for a 30 visit. I don't believe, and didn't. I forget if they had him in at the combine or not. But a lot of fans' reactions right now, I think you have to remember the Buccaneers still have 5 more picks to go, and we can fully expect that to be defense. There could be an option where they trade down in the second round tomorrow and get more picks. That remains a possibility. Jason Light has done that before. So I think we just need to relax and understand, like, the Buccaneers are getting a really good player here in Egbuka who can come in, help the offense, and be even more dynamic than it has been in the past.
My only argument, because I had this with you plus, like, so you're gonna have to give him reps, and it's like taking away from McMillan's reps. Mm-hmm. Yes, if Godwin doesn't start the year, okay, cool, we used it that way. Besides last year, Mike Evans and his hamstring. Before that, he never really was hurt. That's why he had 1,000-yard seasons every year. Yeah. So, like, I know it's his latter part of his career, so maybe this is a future pick saying that you'll have Godwin, McMillan, and let's get this right, Egbuka, the G silent Egbuka, in there, and you still have 3 talented receivers. Maybe it is. But I almost see him as like a plug-and-play guy that he's going to be good enough to start. So yeah, I can see the anger because we need defense more. Is this an elite guy? There's not many elite guys in this damn draft, and this is a very consistent player in the draft and a guy that you can count on. So I'm not upset about it. Am I frustrated a little bit? Yeah, but like I think you said, multiple picks and that we're still going to take, and there's still a lot of guys that I like. Not many middle linebackers have been taken right now. So that's our main issue. And I think that'll get resolved later in the draft.
I think what it comes down to, when you look at the defensive prospects that were available, I think a lot of them, unfortunately, had some type of concern, whether that's medical or on tape. Jahdae Barron, a perfect example, smaller in stature, shorter arms. So
they have a type.
Yeah, you're worried about that. Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan, has a knee issue and slow. Jahad Campbell, obviously with the medical concerns.
And we heard it. It's not just the shoulders; it's his knee. Like
multiple things. Savon Ravel coming off a torn ACL. You look at Maxwell Hairston, another guy that is shorter in stature, fast, has inconsistent tape.
Donovan Shador to Steelers, defensive tackle Derek Harmon from Oregon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like Derek Harmon. He's another guy we did a film study on, so be sure to check that out.
Shador going round 1, guys?
I don't think it.
I think someone's going to trade up in the back.
Maybe 31, 32.
Yeah.
But do we think both Dart and Sanders go round 1?
I don't think Dart does.
No. It's either going to be Dart or Sanders, one or the other, but not both.
It's going to be Sanders.
Yeah.
Deion's going to call someone. Not more of that.
Yeah.
I'll bring Lil Wayne to one of your pre-games.
Yeah.
Deion has pull. Let's put it that way. I think he'll be somewhere back end.
Yeah.
Kind of like, Lamar Jackson, elite talent, went back the last pick of the first round?
Mm-hmm.
I think Shadur's going to get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. Like and again, not every fans know this, but brutal as Bucks, Mike Green just wasn't on the Buccaneers board.
No,
he just wasn't going to be a pick for the Bucks. Yes, love him as a prospect, but he just wasn't.
I bet you they did too.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the Egbuka pick, if he doesn't probably have his character, like maybe he doesn't get picked at 19. Like I think they just loved everything about this kid. Yeah. They saw the next 5 to 7 years with him, and they went with it. Like it's hard to really, be upset about. I think it's, for me, the way I just described it to one of my friends, Garrett, when we were texting, was like I called it sticker shock. It's like I love this pick, but I'm looking at it and I'm just like defense.
Yeah.
But it's not there's anything wrong with the player. Yeah. It's, again, to Mark's point, like, there might be some, hey, we want to get them reps. We want to give all 4 of these guys opportunities, and we know Evans and Godwin are going to get most of them. So how much does he actually play?
Yeah.
I
I was going to say this. It's competition for Jaylen McMillan. Like, you have to remember, McMillan was a 3rd-round pick. There's no guarantee that he has to be on the field or is going to be on the field. Yes, you can go based off of last year, but that's last year, and you have to see what happens moving forward. Now you bring in a 1st-round talent in Egbuka, who I think could very well just be a much better fit for what they want to do offensively. He can play inside, he can play outside, he can do a lot of different things from that standpoint. And you have McMillan come in as that role player that can be the extra depth piece to fill in for a Mike Evans or Chris Godwin when they need a breather. So have some type of rotation there. I think it's definitely in play, but it just gives you another weapon on offense to be that much better.
I'm going to say this. So I'm listening to Jason Light. Can you hear that or no?
No, we can't hear it. I don't think.
But,
I think you have to share it.
Okay. He was slapping his thighs. He was so excited. I like that quote.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna start slapping my thighs a couple more times. But what I was just listening to what you were saying.
I think he probably got scared of the Seahawks. Is probably why he was slapping his thigh. Because I mean, they just traded Metcalf.
Yeah.
If Egbuka was their guy, I mean, the Falcons weren't drafting a wide receiver. The Cardinals weren't drafting a receiver. The Bengals weren't drafting a receiver. To me, it was the Seahawks.
I mean, I'm going to say this. So what Plus was saying about he could be inside, outside, I was thinking no, I think McMillan is better suited for an outside guy. If you look at, you're saying, okay, what if he has a down year? His last year in college was a down year. The 2 years prior, he was phenomenal. So, the guy is good. He put up production. His last, 8 touchdowns in the final 6 games, something like that. The guy is good. He's got the goods. I'll give him that. He just needs size. Get him some strength. Okay, cool. But he's got the route concepts. He's got the deception. He's got anything you want. He just needs size. Okay, cool. Egbuka. Let's get this right, guys. Or I shit the bed nonstop with Gedeke. Got so many comments about it.
Yeah.
But Egbuka, I think he's just so suited for that slot position that there's going to be no break for any defense, because if Godwin's in there and he has to take a breather, or even if he isn't in there, he can just plug and play. Mike Evans doesn't need to lose any roles. And if Mike Evans goes down, McMillan can move over, and then you can just attack the slot nonstop. And you already know that Cade Otton can do what he can do. There's just another layer that you don't lose anything because you have a guy in that stature. Yeah, it was a luxury pick because he fell to you. And that was that, I guess, outlier we didn't really think about. If a guy like this that came with so much consistency came to you, you can just plug and play, and it makes you that much better. Yeah. And it wasn't look like Luther Burden or who else was available at wide receiver, but I think he's just so much more consistent than anyone else that was on the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it comes from a top program in Ohio State. I was going to add, as far as what you're saying, as far as not losing anything on offense, I think the main factor, when you watch the Bucs offense last year, we all knew when Mike Evans and, let's say, Chris Godwin go out for the game, and when they bring in Raheem Jarrett, they bring in their backup receivers, we all knew what that play was. It was a run play to either Bucky Irving or Rachaad White. Now you have Emeka Egbuka in there, and you still have a legit threat on offense to get open, because he's an excellent route runner, and he knows how to win with the catch and also get yards after the catch. That's huge. That makes your offense that much more dynamic, where you can actually give plays off to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and you're not so predictable in your offense. But what I was going to say about the defense, Donovan Ezraku, he was, the fan favorite. A lot of people were expecting him to be the pick, but at the same time, he's a smaller defensive end. He had the longer arms. He had the 34-inch arms, which is great. But when you watch his tape and you go through it heavily, he did get swallowed up by bigger offensive linemen when it came to run. The running game, he would get swallowed up in pass protection at times, but he did have the production and also an awesome human being. So, I mean, again, I would say that was probably their other choice that they were maybe looking at. But I think with this pick, they feel confident that they're getting the best player available on offense, and they feel confident enough that defensive players are going to be to their liking on day 2 and day 3.
Yeah. And to add to that, how many damn times did Jason Light mention Chris Braswell this whole offseason?
Yeah.
I think every time we saw his face, that came out of his mouth.
Right.
So, like, that's telling for edge rusher. Then we add Hassan Reddick. We signed back Anthony Nelson. The edge was loaded. To get an edge player, it had to be an elite talent. And I talked with you nonstop about this. I kept saying, like, Donovan Azaraku, I like the player, but I consider him like a Shaq Barrett. I never considered him like an elite edge rusher, a guy like that can turn the corner, like get that bend, like insanity. He didn't have that. He just was a good plan, good heady player.
Scott Smith, Jason Light didn't have Emeka Egbuka in for pre-draft visit because they had no questions about him.
There you go.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, so what? Like what Krillin was saying, like he's like, so we pretty much wasted a first-round pick. Let's be honest, he's not an immediate impact starter.
Okay, Krillin, who started in the Chiefs game at wide receiver? Like, we know Evans is going to have some type of soft tissue.
No, but
it sounds like
playing devil's advocate. We don't know that. It was just last year. The years before that, he's never hurt. He's almost never hurt.
Usually gets
He
them kind of
damn near tore his ACL the Super Bowl year and still play. It looked like he tore it, but
that catch against the Falcons was insane.
But I mean, but yeah, keep going.
But the thing is, though, like it's again, I think it's a great player. I think it's a great character. I think it's going to be great for the Bucs organization. We don't know what Light knows. We know about certain players. We know about James Pierce. We know about the edge from Marshall. Like we know these character things across the board. We don't. I can tell you for a fact, other than like Jahad Campbell, like we don't know these medicals. Like they know all of these things. Like I think it's the 5 years part of this. I mean, Evans won't be here in 3 years.
Right.
Godwin probably maybe one more contract, if that.
Yeah.
Like,
shit.
If it's McMillan and Egbuka, like that's the future. That's one. 2, we have a new offensive coordinator who's never called plays in the NFL. Help him.
Confidence.
Help him. I mean, you give yourself a little room for error for this depth that you're going to be drafting on defense. Like that's just it.
Yeah, Evan Winter just said something interesting in our chat, but I don't think I can share it. But basically, he said they went to bed last night, had a decision on one defensive player, but switched their minds.
Ollie Connolly. The Bucs just added Puka Nacua to a group with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Jaylen McMillan. Physical, smart, can create after the catch, reads things at double speed, hammers people. What a fit.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and find this GIF and share it because it matches perfectly with what you just said.
Maureen Hampton. Wow. To the Chargers.
Yeah, that one I was like, holy shit.
Okay. I can see it. They, John Harbaugh, or is it John? No, it's Jim. Jim Harbaugh. He likes to run the football. So we got two.
Will Campbell. They still got Will Johnson on the board.
I think Jahad Campbell's going to fall to 53. I don't know if we'll take him though.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm going to say a couple things. So medical stuff.
No.
I'm going to go a little bit more deeper into that. These guys are 21 damn years old. Regenerative stuff these days are lights out. In the offseason, when they're not getting tested, they're taking shit. Let's be honest. And a lot of
comment
can regrow a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not that concerned. If you're 21, 20 years old, I can help you out. And if you're going to the right people, you can get a lot of help. Okay. So I'm not that upset. If you're 30 years old, okay, and you've been through the grind of NFL 17 game seasons for 10 years, okay, it's going to hurt a little bit. And we can't regenerate you that much. But like nowadays, there's a lot you can do to help you out. Daquan Bowers, I don't think it was necessarily his degenerative knee thing was necessarily just his knee. I think he was just a lazy player. He was not an elite talent.
Yeah.
I think that's what scares people when they see degenerative knee and they just see the words and they're pissed off about it. In the medical field and you hear that, you're just like, okay, he just needs to fucking strengthen it because he's just putting too much on his joint. Fucking stretch it out and strengthen it out and let's go. So
what you're saying is the Bucs need to hire you.
I'm saying
I'm teasing.
In some fashions, some like as from a health standpoint, when you look at some teams, even in like baseball, I'm like, holy shit, how are these guys getting hurt so much? Like it blows my mind. Like soft tissue stuff, that is a laziness because if you didn't do your job. Because if your job requires this, you didn't do it.
Light just says he loves the depth at edge rusher. Said at the podium.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still like Derek Harmon would have been a good pick too. But we did a film study on him. I don't think he's low enough. I don't think he does run stuffing enough for what this defense needs.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been creative to use him. Jahdae Barron really intrigued me. I liked him a lot when we did the film study. But like you said, all the other cornerbacks had so many question marks. So I can see why they went Egbuka. But again, guys, you can't be frustrated. You just added a guy that can add another layer to your offense. You can rest your star. Plus made such a great point. The second Mike Evans was off the field, you knew it was going to be a running play.
Yeah.
You knew it.
And then you'd see Ryan Miller come on the field, and you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Well, just imagine a guy where Mike Evans comes off, and you can still just fucking just chuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Who gives a shit? Let's go.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, McMillan, I know he's going to be ready. Like, I don't think he's going to have an upset year, like a down year. I think he's going to be ready to go just based off the person. And if Egbuka is the same damn person type, let's go. I mean, I'm going to try and get hyped up a little bit more when we do the film study.
Yeah.
Because we're going to bring that out tomorrow. Plus, I'm off.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Can't wait for you all to drop that video. Again, I'm seeing people that I respect a lot loving this pick.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. I haven't personally watched the film. Obviously, Ohio State dominated. So there was not much to really. I mean, they had the two best running backs.
Yeah.
They had a really good passing offense. Chip Kelly was running it. Again, you put him in the college game, it's success. So I haven't really dove into that. So I'm excited to watch you guys break that down. So make sure if you're in this chat right now, you tune in because I'm assuming you're probably going to either wake up or sometime in the afternoon, you're going to see a notification from Real Bucs Talk. And I think you're going to like what you see is from everything that I read.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to try to get that out tomorrow afternoon. And hopefully we can get, we'll get more in the upcoming weeks as we get, the rest of the draft picks. But I thought it was interesting. I did see something pop up on my screen that, Jason Light did have trade down opportunities. And they still went ahead and, made this selection.
I think it was Egbuka no matter what. That's just what it sounds like.
Yeah, it does. But it'll be something.
Wait, wasn't Vontae Ohio State too?
Yeah, he was.
Vontae Mack.
Yep.
He's slapping his thighs about this, guys. Thigh slapper. That should be a shirt.
It will just be interesting if they do make a trade down tomorrow and try to get some more picks. But they might just be comfortable with the 6 selections.
And he also, Light said from Scott Smith, Bucs are still shooting for week 1 on Chris Godwin, and the pick of Egbuka had nothing to do with that pick.
Yeah.
Right,
obviously, I think there's some gray area there, but if Chris Godwin's rehab's on schedule and it takes him a month to get going, then great.
All right, so I'm going to say this. Okay, we're going to bring this up. Sway to the Z. It's an OJ Howard pick all over again. All right, so plus I'm gonna bring this up just so we can.
Oh, J.C. Allen did it. He put Emeka Egbuka no matter what.
Oh yeah, nice.
So plus, I'm gonna be the a-hole here, which I usually am. So O.J. Howard's a tight end at 19. He's a wide receiver at 19. We're in a wide receiver driven offense. So we took another wide receiver. O.J. Howard was in literally one game in the biggest stage. He made the biggest plays. He had 2 70-yard catches for a touchdown in that championship game. So that was the biggest game of his career. And although he was an elite athlete, he just didn't really put it together all here. If he didn't get hurt, I think he would have had a better career. But what is your take with O.J. Howard pick all over again before I say? And I'm defending him a lot, and I haven't really evaluated the tape. I just know a lot of what the respected people that I follow say about this guy, about the person first, as opposed to even the player yet. So what do you say about this? It's O.J. Howard pick all over again.
Yeah, I can see what he means, because he said below that we didn't need OJ at the time also.
Can I say really one thing real quick that I know about the O.J. Howard pick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can tell you both for a fact, Dirk Cutter wanted this pick so bad. Light did a favor. There was a need. I mean, Cameron Brate, no one thought Cameron Brate was really going to be what Cameron Brate kind of became.
Right.
O.J. Howard was so, like we hear all the time, scouts, people on, like, I stand on the table for this guy. I'm telling you, Dirk Cutter wanted this pick so bad. And I can tell you both off screen who that source is.
Okay.
It's actually, I'll throw it in this chat for you both.
I'd love
that. Yeah, that happened.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I can put it pretty simple terms here.
I agree with this though.
Yeah, tall ball catchers was a theme. I think what Sway said it right there. He said we didn't need OJ at the time. Yeah. Keyword need.
Yep.
Need. You don't draft for need in the first round. You go best player available every day of the week and twice on Sunday. And if they feel that Emeka Egbuka is the best player, then that's what you do. And you're bettering your team, not just for this year, but for 3-5 years down the line, because you feel this investment in this player is going to end up being a really good football player for your team for the long haul, and you're going to be signing him to multiple contracts. So that matters. Like, they felt this guy was so far and above the other players on the board. That's who they went with. Now, we can all argue, was it the right pick or this and that? That remains to be seen. We don't know. Everybody's going to question that with their own team and who's the pick and who's that. Like, was the right pick for the Browns Mason Graham? We have no idea. Like, should they have taken Travis Hunter? Probably, but they got the trade and that's what they went with. I think with Egbuka, I mean, it's just getting a really good value. And there's
Packers drafted a receiver for the first time in ever.
Matthew Golden. Okay, got some speed.
So like to the point, we just drafted a receiver. We're loaded receiver. Look at the Packers drafting a receiver,
right?
And they got like 3 guys that they don't even know who the hell number 1 is.
Yep.
Now they have 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'd say the Packers and the Bucs. I mean, if you look at where the franchises have been really projecting over the past 3 years, they've both been on that similar trajectory. I really think the past 2 seasons, you can literally, when you're doing power rankings, I know the Bucs had the up and downs during the season, but really they both performed above expectations, and B, they both have done really good jobs getting ready for the future while also helping themselves now. I think the Bucs and Packers operate pretty similarly, and I think we're seeing that in the first round here.
All right. So, like, but also to this point, so the draft, nonetheless, like, we're going to evaluate the player 100% because this is what we do. We're obsessed, and we want to know how. We already know the person's good. I'm not even going to evaluate looking through him talking based off of so much stuff I've heard from trusted guys that I watch. Like literally, like, everyone would say this is a guy that I want in my locker room. Jason Light's even slapping his thighs about it. We're going to break down the tape and really evaluate because I thought Matthew Golden was a hell of a receiver prospect. Not like elite because his speed didn't show up on tape, but like the deception, like the head fakes, the route running, hands, that was a lot there. I'm going to compare him to what Golden did just based off of that. So like, where do I see him comparable to him? That's when I'm looking at the tape. That's what I'm going to do. So I can't
wait. With that, Mark, Plus and I were talking about this before you hopped on. One thing that Ledyard brought up about Golden that really stuck out to me is because, I mean, you saw the speed and I liked his tape. Sure. I just didn't think he was a top 15, 20 guy. But the context of Quinn Ewers playing as bad as he did, I think limited a lot of what Matthew Golden could do in many regards.
I mean,
so
do you think the Ohio
something
State
food for thought.
Was Ohio State's quarterback that much better? Was his name Sam something? Sam?
No, Will Howard.
Will Howard. I was going to say Sam Howard. I was going to say Sam Hubbard, actually. Will Howard. Okay. I don't think Will Howard played that much better.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to find out, right, when we go through it. But I think more in the aspect of how much more can he add, as in blocking, as in he's a bigger body. Golden was a smaller stature dude. Yeah, he timed great, but didn't look fat. Didn't look elite in his tape. Like you think 4'2", 4'3", you're going to be burning people. It didn't look like that when we looked at his tape. When pads are on, maybe he's a little bit slower. So that's why, like, I don't think running in your panties is really that of an epic thing. Like, so I want to see what you do on tape. And I'm excited to see it. So, I mean, but overall, add them to a mix that you just said. Like, you're loaded now on offense, and you got plenty of defensive players that I have not seen one true middle linebacker taken. I'm happy about that, guys. Be happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
If the corners that you're mad, okay, Jahdae Barron got taken. Yeah, I'm a little upset about that, but I'm not taken back. That's the only guy that I'm really like, ooh.
Yeah. There's only been 2 corners taken. Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter and Jahdae Barron. So
this is where playing the board is actually good to your advantage. Like, I was always saying, like, that. Why the hell did we take Devin White top 5 pick? Blows my damn mind.
Right.
Like, off
Josh
ball.
Allen, baby. And
Josh.
I know people say, "Oh, you could have won. You know, we won the Super Bowl." Yeah, I think that's again process over like what occurred. Like,
it wasn't because of Devin White.
And also people like, for instance, okay, the fumble by Jared Cook, Antoine Winfield got it. The Kamara interception, sure, and the game is basically over. But yeah, sure, tip your cap, Devin White, great. Other than that, he had the interception at the very end of the game against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But COVID Devin was the best 3 weeks of Devin that there was in his 5 years.
I fully agree with that. Fully. You never saw that.
Yeah, we should get JC Allen here at probably towards the end of the draft. They're talking with Emeka Egbuka here in a second, so I think that's going to be popping in here shortly. So once JC is done with the press conference, I think he'll be popping in. So that'll be good to get his thoughts on the wide receiver selection. Oh, we got a surprise.
Vikings.
Huh?
Interesting.
Oh,
2 guards.
Right. When would you ever say 2 guards in the first round?
Wait, another guard?
Well, another guard off the board. An Alabama guard and now an Ohio State guard.
Oh,
And
Donovan
Texans have
Jackson.
officially
Okay.
traded back to with the Giants.
Oh,
Shedeur Sanders to the Giants is going to be
Yeah.
my guess.
either that or Jackson Dart. Could be Jackson Dart.
Right.
Yeah, so Texans traded.
Quarterback, either Sanders or Dart.
Ken's either pissed. I don't know what the hell Ken's
Oh,
doing.
he's talking to his girlfriend, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I had to talk to my girlfriend's a Giants
Yeah.
fan, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's intriguing. Yeah, so I mean, you have three interior actually 4 interior offensive linemen selected if you count Will Campbell, who probably will move inside. And you have Gray Zabel going to play inside, Tyler Booker, and now Donovan Jackson, who I did like a lot on tape. But yeah,
Yarko's an Ohio State guy. He tweeted out, the real question is Kyle Trask going to give up his number?
oh, probably. I would say probably yes, unless Egbuka wants a different number.
Oh shit! You think it's Shedeur?
I mean, it's
Is
got
that
to be
what you're saying?
it's got to be Sanders or Dart.
Yeah.
And,
The pick
oh,
isn't
that's what-
in,
I was
but-
listening to Jason Light. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, yeah, I told you someone's going to trade up. This would be, oh my gosh. Could you imagine Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, Shedeur Sanders? This is a joke, man.
The most ego. I mean, not that Jameis has like this bad ego, but I think Russ is known for like his ego. Jameis is known for his like wackiness, but like kind of an ego.
Yeah.
You have Shedeur. Granted, I think he's probably a lot more
just-
level-headed, but also ego.
I
In
just
New
saw
York,
that
what
it's
can go wrong?
it's not Shedeur though.
It's not.
Yeah,
Whew!
yeah. It's the Dart Man.
It's the Dart Man.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. It's Jackson
No,
Dart.
it is.
Plus, you
The
getting it
Giants are
early.
just stupid, man. I just don't get it. Why sign these guys?
Why Jameis is paid nothing? Why pay Wilson? That's my question.
Yeah, Wilson made no sense. I
mean,
think Wilson
If
should.
this is
retire.
what you're going to do, Wilson makes no sense.
Yeah.
We've just beaten and battered Jameis the last 2 years he was here, but I'm starting to feel bad for the guy. Like he's exciting TV, yes.
He
May
is.
not be the best football player, but he makes your team entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought New York would be a perfect place for him. You know, I love the tweets of people saying like he's gonna throw for like 4,000 yards, the same 40 touchdowns, 40 interceptions, and then Russell Wilson got signed. They're like, oh shit, it's over. And now you got 3. Like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Like organizations like this, what the hell? You had no plan. There's no plan going into that. You signed 2 quarterbacks and you drafted one. What the hell are you thinking? I don't get it. You gotta stick with one plan, play it out, and then move forward. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's like having 3 business plans and thinking one of them's gonna hit. You got to go all in on one. If you don't go all in, okay, well, shit. Having 3, you just went like, I don't know. It's stupid. Either way, whoever's in New York's going to get fired. Well, I mean, okay, so let me say this. So instead of bad mouthing other teams, I wanted to bring up this point because I don't want any empty space, and I want to talk Buck football on the podcast. Big point I wanted to bring up. So the last 2 years, we've gone through a 4-game and a 5-game losing streak in a row, right?
Yeah.
With Todd Bowles at quarterback or at head coach. That's like a leading thing of saying why he should have been fired, but then he has these runs at the end of the year. Okay, cool. We're getting the playoffs.
Schedule a little bit though. I'll throw that back at you, Mark. Schedule at the end's been favorable.
Right. Okay. But again, that also is like why he shouldn't get so much credit. You're adding so much to this offense. You're likely going to get more defensive talent in the end. Should there ever be this many losing streaks in the middle of your season? and say he himself has said good teams don't lose 2 in a row. And he's lost 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So like, what do we think about this? Like, I want to talk about that. And I want to hear the chat talking about that too. Like, I'm a Todd Bowles guy, but I don't approve of this. And like, that's why at the end of the last season, I'm like, no, we got to move on. Like this is the second time we've done this. Like, it's frustrating because he's a nice defensive mind, but like sometimes 4 and 5 game losing streaks get to you. So I want to know what you guys think of that.
I'll plus take that. I'm just going to say really quickly, the Texans got 34. So slide back about 10 picks and then got 2/3, a third round this year and a third round next year. Take it away, plus.
Yeah, that's pretty good value right there. And there's still a lot of good players left defensively or offensively. However,
line.
However Texans want to go about it. But yeah, Todd Bowles and the losing streaks. It's just, I think at times injuries hit, but then also it's like, what are you doing schematically? And I talked about this with Ken as well. I think Todd Bowles' biggest thing is he's too slow to adjust when things aren't working according to plan. That's his biggest issue. I think he also has a little bit too much love for players that are just not capable of running his scheme. We saw that last year with KJ Britt. When Servassier Dennis went down, pretty much the whole plan went out the window. And you just can't set yourself up like that going into the season. You should already know that KJ Britt wasn't going to work going into that season. I know they got false hope from the year before when he started some games, but that's something you should have known.
Another trade.
And then also with the secondary, you have to understand, okay, who are my guys and what works. And with the outside corners, them going down, like you have to expect that Jamel Dean's going to go get hurt at some point.
100%.
Right? Bryce Hall was the backup plan. Unfortunately, he gets hurt the first game and he's out for the year. So that kind of ruins your plan there. I think it just goes more so into the team mindset as well, because they start off really well. We started, I think, 3-1 over the last 2 years, which is great. But then I think there's something falls off on either side of the ball, offense or defense. It seems like the offense kind of goes into a turnover sporadic, and that could be Baker. It could be other parts of the offense as well. And then defensively, they just don't make adjustments based on their success from the 3-1 start. There has to be a different plan in place as they get into that middle part of the season. And it seems like teams kind of catch up to them and they see on film, okay, this is the weakness. They can't cover the middle of the field. It's wide open. Let's take advantage of it. And we saw that throughout those losing streaks. To last year, I think a lot of it is just you also played better teams as you got into that middle stretch. And some of that you were getting out coached, or you just didn't have the pieces and personnel due to injuries.
All right. So
it's really a combination of a lot of factors. But at the same time, I think Todd Bowles knows he's got to take responsibility for that. And hopefully we see some adjustments that he has mentioned before this offseason that he hopes is going to change things around.
All right. So you said a lot. So I agree with a lot of the points, but I'm also going to kind of expand and think deeper into it.
Yeah.
That's why we're in this position. We try and think it out. So like you were saying, so Jamel Dean's going to go down. You thought Breece Hall was going to be the option to step in. He's hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, to that point, then you say, okay, you knew KJ Britt wasn't good enough to be the guy. So why the hell didn't Jason Light step in? So that's to my point. It's like, why the hell are you can't blame Todd Bowles fully if Jason Light isn't seeing, okay, holy shit, we just went from Devin White to KJ Britt. We went from a 4-3 to a 4-7. There's an issue there. Yep. Maybe I should add something. Not necessarily depend on a guy that was a 5th round pick, I think, in Servassier Dennis. And he was injured last year, and we're thinking he's going to be the guy. I don't know. Even though I think he's going to be a good, talented player, like he is good. But, I mean, I just don't think it all is on Todd Bowles. You got to think about what Jason Light was thinking in that situation.
Wow, Atlanta Falcons just traded up as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Jackson Dart is the pick, but we're gonna bring in Josh Capo here.
There's
He's
a man in the background. Yeah, there he is.
He's a big fan of Emeka Egbuka. So
yeah. Let me not have an upward angle at my two chins.
The goatee is hiding it. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you. It's doing its job.
Wow. Let me before you speak, Josh. The trade here for the Falcons and the Rams. The Falcons get 26th overall pick and then a 3rd round pick. They traded away a 1st round pick for next year.
Wow.
Their 2nd and I think a 7th round pick.
They got the 2 edge rushers.
Who? A quarterback?
Nope.
Right.
Look what they did. Wow. Ra. Okay.
But
wow. Okay, Ra. Smart move.
I haven't been paying attention. Who did they take?
James
they haven't
Pierce
picked
Jr.
yet. Oh, did they?
It's James Pierce.
Wow.
With
Okay. I mean,
what did they trade though?
Add
I'll
that
look it
to
up.
the-
Sorry, you guys keep going.
future first, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I
And
mean,
probably their 2nd.
Yeah.
Ra's gonna get fired if he don't do shit. He
I
already
mean,
melted
they
down last year.
absolutely addressed that pass rush with Pierce,
They need to,
Jaylen
yeah.
Walker, right? Like that was the thing that they absolutely needed, and you can't say that they haven't addressed it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the play. Walker is considered a high character guy, like absolutely loves football. Pierce couldn't be further from that. So they're hedging their bets, I guess.
Yeah.
But getting to the Bucs taking Emeka Egbuka. So John Ledyard and I talked about this a couple days ago. We said that this may be a possibility. Personally, like I liken Egbuka to Chris Godwin before his injuries. So very similar explosiveness, the size. He's got a phenomenal hands, ball tracking. He's one of the he's one of the very few wide receivers you see in college where he gets a like a bubble screen and he actually uses his blockers and doesn't just try and juke the entire world, right? Like he's got yak ability. He can force missed tackles. I mentioned the hands, probably the best route runner in this class, if you ask me. He can create separation and he wins over the middle. And what this does is this gives you not one, not two, but 3 guys who you can move anywhere you want in the formation. Like bring Mike into the slot, you can have Chris and Egbuka on the outside. Bring Egbuka into the slot, you can have Mike and Chris on the perimeter. Obviously, Chris is going to play a lot of the. I mean, it creates almost a positionless wide receiving core, right? And then you add Jaylen McMillan in there, and now you can take Mike and Chris off the field and still feel good about your top 2 wide receivers on the field, winning against top cornerbacks, right? So,
and you're not predictable. You're not giving away the run play.
Yeah, I think the one thing a lot of people need to understand, and we talked about this before the pick was made, they did not have to draft to a need, right?
Exactly.
There are 5 guys in this draft that I think consensus anybody who follows the draft would say are elite, right? You're talking Genty, you're talking
Hunter,
Carter, and maybe that's it. Like, I mean, there's debate beyond those, right? Like we were talking about, Cam Ward went. I mean, you can add Cam Ward just based on the positional value there, but then beyond that, you could poke holes in just about everybody. So we talked about it kind of at the beginning of your show, plus like most likely 15 guys from this draft class are going to end up as an all pro at some point. Mm-hmm. So if 4 to 5 are consensus, everybody believes it. That leaves every team trying to figure out what that other 10 is.
I called it the slosh.
Exactly.
Right.
So if the Bucs saw Egbuka as the only guy left that, hey, we think this guy's an all pro down the line, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody else is in a clear tier below. Not to mention 11 of the first 18 picks were on what side of the ball? The offensive side of the ball, which means you're losing value on that side quick. You may only have one more shot to get a really good offensive guy. And that means defensive players are getting pushed down So there's more value on defense on day 2. Makes all the sense in the world. And I think fans are very, very short-sighted because they seem to forget weeks 9 through 12 of last year.
Mhm.
Right? Sterling Shepard was wide receiver 1.
Yeah, like
I like Sterling Shepard. He ain't wide receiver 1.
Ken made the point. It's like, remember the Chiefs game? We had
Raheem Jarrett was a starter.
Yeah. So like
the game tying touchdown went to
Ryan Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this adds a little bit more, I guess, calm to people because, like I was saying, like he may not be like the biggest or fastest guy, but he does so many things well, and he's a great person. That's usually where the Bucs draft, right? Look at the person first over the player, and then
the character is off the charts.
Yeah,
He's probably a top 5 guy in this class. And Jason Light in his press conference said he was he literally scored the best on their character chart.
Malachi Starks to the Ravens, just FYI, fam.
Okay.
Damn, with Kyle Hamilton. Okay.
Is Ezra Rocco off the board? Has he gone?
No.
Not yet, but he might go the next 2 picks.
But look at these numbers. He's actually pretty damn good. So almost 10-inch hands. For me, hands for any position. I mean, you get more surface area, you get more grip, you get more everything. That's a big actually. Usually for edge players or defensive tackles, you can manhandle more players better. But either way, catching the ball, bigger hands is always going to be a better characteristic. Look at Bucky Irving's hands.
Yeah.
Massive
I
hands,
actually,
small guy.
if you don't mind, Mark, I like giving the percentiles, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to mock draftable, so to your point, the hand side's 69th percentile, the 10-yard split 74th percentile. So weight 52nd percentile, height's a little on the lower side, but I mean 6'1" plays. Yeah. I mean that's Chris's. And again, comping him to Chris Godwin, if you were to put his RAS score side by side with Chris Godwin's, they're damn near identical.
Yeah, I mean, but because a lot of people be like, "Oh, he's just an average dude," but almost 10-inch hands, a 4.45. That is not slow. I think Percy Harvin was like a 4.42. So okay, so think about speed wise. 1.5, 10-yard split. This one jumped off the screen. 38-inch vert. It's almost a 40-inch vert. That's pretty damn insane. And this is your 4th option, if you think about it, like 4th or 3rd option, depending on how good McMillan can be. This is good. Okay, guys, I was thinking he was slower, but he timed really well because I think Godwin was a 4.41, I believe a 4.42 type of guy who timed really well. So, I mean, like you just said, Chris Godwin kind of clone. And I mean, if Godwin has to come up slower, he has to come based off of his injury from last year. You got a guy that's a plug and play. You hear nothing but good things of his personality, his character, and you don't, like Plus said, you don't have to just see Mike Evans goes off. It's a run play. No, it's not no more.
Yeah.
It just so many other wrinkles.
June report says that Jaylen McMillan and Egbuka were 7-on-7 teammates as well. So they have a long-standing friendship.
Yeah. There you go.
Ollie Connolly, once the Bucs made the pick, this is his comp. He said the Bucs just added Puka Nacua to Mike Evans.
Yeah, I read that out as soon because you weren't on here. We were talking about it was your guy. And I was like, between you, Ollie, and John, if that's not enough for people to be like, hey, if we're gonna draft an offensive guy, it's this guy. Like, I'm okay with that.
I mean, if you think about it, he's the 2nd true wide receiver off the board. I mean, Travis Hunter is a corner wide receiver. He's probably going to be more a corner.
That's right. Jax took him. Okay.
Right. I mean, I know they're going to play in both capacities, but the thing is,
I was thinking Cleveland, and I knew Cleveland saw him as a wide receiver first, but then I forgot that they did the trade. So that's just me brains fried at this point.
Yeah. No, don't. I've been drinking, so mine's fried already.
By the way, Mark, I'm taking us off the rails here, but the intro video, that was the absolute coolest thing with your son back in the 2020 or 2020, 2021, whichever one it was. Like that was so cool. Awesome dad vibes. Love it, man.
Hey,
Yeah, when Pless said
you gotta get it. Be humble.
Your kid was 5, I was like, oh man, I didn't. You look the same now as you did then, but I was like, darn, like time has flown.
Yeah.
My hair isn't. I've got nothing but grays. The black helps. The shadows help. Okay, it's all movie magic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to hop on and get my thoughts. I got to get back to writing an article. So
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna let you guys go.
Wait,
All
is it going to be a glowing review of the pick? Just curiosity here of a Egbuka for you.
Check my Twitter feed and figure it out.
I love it.
I'm in the trenches fighting the good fight, bud.
Oh, man.
Hey, Josh,
Love
good seeing you, though. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
You too,
I
bud.
missed you in the beginning, but yeah, good seeing you.
You too, bud. See you.
All right, Josh, take care. Yeah, so there's good stuff there from Josh Capo. Be sure to check him out at Pew Report. If you guys are just joining the live stream, as there's another reaction, be sure to let me see if I can get this up here.
Oh, let me
there we go. Be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We appreciate new subscribers. We got a bunch of film studies out on some of the draft prospects that have been already taken. James Pierce Jr. we have one on. We got Derek Harmon, Matthew Golden, Kenneth Grant, Jaylen Walker, Walter Nolan, Shamar Stewart. A lot of guys here that we have draft film studies on. So be sure to check that out. And we most likely will probably have a film study on Buccaneers draft pick Emeka Egbuka tomorrow afternoon. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And then obviously whoever the Bucs pick the rest of the draft, we will have film studies coming out, within the next couple of weeks for those. And then we'll get into some other different factors of our film studies. That will be a lot of fun. So appreciate everyone that has joined. Appreciate all the comments and chatter going on in the chat, and keep it coming as we are getting closer to the end of round 1. Malachi Starks just went to the Baltimore Ravens. We have a film study on him. So a lot of good stuff. And now we have, I think, Detroit Lions are up at 28. Yep. And I think Ken was reacting to something. Was that one of the picks or? Yeah.
I thought an edge was going to go here. That's all.
Oh, okay. So it's not an edge player?
It's not edge.
Not edge.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, you would want to pair Aiden Hutchinson with another edge. Okay.
Let's see who's the best available. I mean, I could see maybe corner. I could see maybe.
Yeah, why didn't they take Mike Green? Imagine him going with him.
Yeah, Mike Green or Donovan Ezeraku.
I'm surprised Ezeraku's lasting this long. Not because there's guys with higher upside, but I think he just checks off all the boxes.
Yeah.
Edge is just position need.
If Benjamin Mason or Morrison makes it to the Bucs pick, elite draft already.
Yeah.
And then if Chris Paul Jr. makes it to
the third,
Oh,
I don't know how you can't love
Literally.
it. And then you just solidify trenches, and from there, throw a corner in there. Like,
why? If that's the 3, Jason Light hit a home run shot, like a Barry Bonds shot. If that's the 3, like I would be on fire.
Well, right now, corner. I mean, I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a corner run at some point in round 2 before the Bucs pick. I'm just curious who's gonna still be there.
Right.
But defensive tackle for the Lions.
Did they go Darius Alexander?
No.
No.
Oh,
went
okay.
Tyreek Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is it because he lost what's his name?
Ozarike?
Ozarike, yeah. I was trying to make a noise to make his name, but
okay. Yeah, Tyreek Williams is a good player. I mean, high floor player, good run stuffer, has pass rush potential. Kind of, fits their mold from Dan Campbell's standpoint.
Hey, Ken, I never got your answer on that of the Todd Bowles losing games, middle of the season, 4 to 5 game streaks of losing. What do you think about that? Because then I added plus answered it, and then I said he mentioned KJ Britt, starting him, and then Jamel Dean, you know he's going to get hurt. But I'm like, also, you can't put all that blame on Bowles because Jason Light knows this as well. This is his team to manage. He knows Jamel Dean's there. He knows KJ Britt's there, and Devin White you just got rid of. So why aren't you helping your coach out and getting him better talent instead of like, okay, maybe we drafted a first-round wide receiver. Should we have done that? So how much of that is a blame on Todd Bowles as opposed to the GM? So like, it's a lot of this is like, who do you point fingers at? But then again, what transitions or modifications or changes do you make based off of the injuries? So a lot of that goes on the coach. But if you don't have the manpower, it goes on the GM. So what is your take on that?
2019, I'm going to chalk up to Jameis. 2020, I'm going to chalk up to Bowles. 2021, I think we take that out. I think it was great. 2022 and 2023, I'll give Bowles because of Leftwich, and I'll give him because of Canales just needing some seasoning. Last year was just, to me, the inexcusable one. Cohen had this offense running. There was the Chiefs situation. You could have stole a game there.
Yep.
Like, I thought there was enough last year, like the 2 years before. I was willing to take you guys know, I still think there's better head coaches out there than Todd Bowles. I do think that.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
But I think he had his fair share of excuses. Those 2 years with Byron, the last year of Brady, and then with Canales. This is just, I can't give him an excuse this year.
Oh, yeah. Like, I agree with you.
You now have
then again, you got a new, like you just said, like a half hour.
But how many years can we do this? That's my only comeback. Like
it is frustrating. I agree.
And I'm curious to see what the schedule is. If I see we have to play our 4 of 6 hardest games in the middle of the year, Mark, I'm just going to guess that we're going to lose.
I mean, so I can play so many both fields like easy, like because it's frustrating. Like, why the hell did you lose the Denver Broncos game so bad at your own house last year? You came off a big win against the Lions. Yeah, I guess it was a.
But Sean Payton is like, that's why I'm going to chalk that.
It doesn't matter. You had a rookie.
Well, Sean Payton and the entire Shanahan regime, like tree, he just sucks. There's no reason why the Rams, when we went to LA in 2021, why they blew us out the doors. Deshaun Jackson running down the field.
I mean,
like
it's frustrating. Like, because I defend Todd Bowles a lot, but then again, I look at it, I'm like, damn, like, come on. Like, I can defend you, but I can down you a lot too.
You're telling me if Shanahan or McVay had this roster on either side, I mean, we're looking not I wouldn't say dynasty, but your expectation is the NFC Championship game year after year.
Oh, but then again, like Shanahan hasn't won a Super Bowl. He's gotten there twice. He's lost twice.
Yeah,
he's gotten there though. How many times has Todd Bowles gotten there? That's kind of
yeah.
And Shanahan also took the Falcons. I'm going to say the Falcons were look at the Falcons before Shanahan got there, and then look at the Falcons after Shanahan left.
Yeah.
And Matt Ryan, especially, you have an MVP. Matt Ryan was Matty Ice for so long, but never an MVP. Shanahan gets there, MVP. Kirk Cousins, the best year of his career. Brock Purdy, I mean, it's all there. If Bruce Arians was our coach and he actually continued, didn't have any health issues or anything like that, I think this team wins probably over the accumulation of the 3 or 4 years, another 7-8 games, at least.
They should have went back to back. If Antonio Brown doesn't go walk off, it's a back to back.
I agree.
I'm still sour about that, but I'm going to move forward. It's about Todd Bowles.
Also, if Tristan Wirfs doesn't hurt his ankle unnecessarily, then I think that's the reason why they just threw Aaron Donald against our right tackle. And it was game over. Brady just was chucking it, and it worked at the end of the game, but clearly wasn't sustainable.
Right.
Yeah, let's not think about that. It's just going to bring back bad memories. I mean, like moving forward, like it is frustrating because, like it's not just the losing streaks. Like I mentioned, the Denver Broncos game, your team mentality should not be that. It should be to win no matter what. And I thought it was gone when Devin White left because I remember him saying so many damn times, "Oh, we just took the foot off the gas because we were just too busy dominating the potent." Like, dude, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
You're part of the problem. And
Surprise on the board in 29, by the way, to the Commanders. It's an offensive lineman, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched this guy at all.
Wait, who is it? Offensive lineman?
Josh Connerly Jr.
Yep.
Oh, Oregon. Yeah,
I didn't watch him at all.
He's pretty good. Solid player. Again, doesn't have the medical concerns that like a Josh Simmons has, coming off the torn ACL. So I think, or it wasn't a torn ACL. It was a torn patella, I think it was, patella tendon. But anyway, this is a guy that can come in and help their offensive line. I think he could play
tackler guard.
Yeah, I think he
They're
play
listing him at tackle on ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, they need protection for Jaden Daniels, and
So Ken and I were just talking about like the excuses for bowls. Like it was Leftwich, it was Brady's last year.
Yeah,
it was Canales' first year. It was Cohen's first year. And look what G Vegas just said. Egbuka is going to put up numbers. Have Baker put up 5,000 yards. Grizz will have Bucs as number one offense and be selected as the Giants head coach next year. Imagine yet another offensive coordinator. Could you imagine?
Especially as young as Grizz is.
Yeah.
Grizz is young.
Yeah, he's 34.
I think that's part of the reason why he got chosen is because I don't think he's old enough to be qualified.
They hope.
Yeah, they hope. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's
Jackson Dart might need a new QB coach though.
I mean, I think if we did win the Super Bowl or whatever the hell, Bowles are going to retire and say, whoever the hell take over. Like, I'm tired of freaking finding another coach. Just do it. But but also to the point, like, it's not first time play caller, but it's first time calling plays for the team. Look at the Eagles. Yeah. Both coordinators were first time with that team. I know John Gruden did it with us, but still, like, it's difficult, right? I mean, to literally get everyone to buy in immediately, that's hard.
But it also goes to Cohen, though. It's like Cohen, though. How legit is Cohen versus people? I mean, I think Cohen proved enough to show that he isn't just like a one-hit wonder like maybe Canales was, for instance. Yeah. But how much is that, okay, we have the film on you for a whole year. Like, let's go. Like, let's see if you can replicate it, Because, again, the Eagles, we struggle against a lot of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah.
Never the Eagles. Like that part about like Bulls, for instance, doesn't make sense. But it's just interesting when you look across the league, like to your point, and see a lot of like the Falcons' first-time head coach last year literally had a similar trajectory as Liam Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
He struggled.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a veteran quarterback. Like you have decent weapons. You have a good offensive line. We all said on this podcast that the Falcons' offensive line was overrated. I'm aware. But I'm just saying on paper, you had enough there, and that offense was abysmal.
I disagree 100% on that one. So yes, don't listen to the national media. They do not have Mike Evans. Drake London is not Mike Evans.
I agree.
You do not have a Chris Godwin. What, Mooney? You're going to compare to Chris Godwin? Shitting me? Come on now. And then Kyle Pitts, a guy, the most inconsistent player. Yes, I think he's an amazing prospect, but they don't know. No one knows how to use him. Give him to a team that knows how to use him, and he stays there. So, like, Cohen had amazing talent to use. Everyone that comes here has amazing talent to use. Kudos to Jason Light for picking guys like that. Yes, I give kudos to him there. And I think Cohen knows that, so that's why he went up and grabbed a guy like Travis Hunter to help his –
and why he took the job, first off.
Right?
Why not use that as a jumping point? You're not going to get much better than that.
And that's a whole other talking point. I think that Jacksonville Jaguars is a weird run team, and Liam Cohen's walked into a hurricane. I think he did this hoping this is going to be his scapegoat, but Travis Hunter is going to be playing both sides. And I think it's going to be rough on him. I don't know. And they're going to put so much on him to be a hell of a good offensive weapon. BTJ, although he's good, I mean, he's not Mike Evans. Not many guys are Mike Evans. So
no.
I mean, the Falcons were never going to be good. You had an Achilles tear and an old quarterback who's all based off of anticipation. Yeah, you beat the Bucs. Cool. Todd Bowles had limited defensive firepower and didn't use it properly. And that's why I down him, because he should have been using it differently. And why I blame a lot on him. So, I don't know. It's frustrating because I think it's – if it happens again this year, like how else can you defend the damn guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Tony Dungy thing is like how far. I mean, not that we couldn't have won anything with Dungy, but you failed enough for us to kind of lose doubt on you or have doubt on you.
Yeah,
I feel like Bowles is really in the from an offensive standpoint. I don't know how much more you can do, and defense. As much as we complain about the depth, these are all Bowles' guys.
Yeah,
like. Again, there have been injuries. I think there have been times where, yeah, he does deserve a little bit of excuses, but how many excuses can you have over 5 years, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I'm all for continuity too. Like, but it's like,
yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I was going to say, I said it earlier. I think the biggest two issues with Todd Bowles is his slow to change as far as adaptation and changing the defense to fit his personnel better, whether that's in game or through just throughout the season. And then also the other issue is being too loyal to guys that don't need to be on the field. I think that is a big issue with him. Like I was telling Mark, like we knew KJ Britt shouldn't be starting. And yes, you could say, okay, well, Jason Light could have went out and got another linebacker, but sometimes you just can't get those guys. Like sometimes the options are just not there. And that's what happened to them last year. And they're putting a lot of hope in that basket. They thought the secondary was going to be better. Didn't work out that way. And that's another thing. Like Todd Bowles as a former safety or former corner, like the secondary should be a lot better than what it has been. A surprise pick?
Bucs guy. Everyone who thought the Bucs were going to take.
Oh, Ezeraku to the Bills?
Nah, corner.
Oh, Hairston?
Yeah, thank God he's not going to be there in this second.
Yeah, Buffalo makes a lot of sense. Wait, who did Washington take? Oh, they took
the offensive lineman from Oregon.
Yeah, that's
Connerly.
Right. Yeah, Connerly.
I just don't know.
Okay.
ESPN had him super low. I mean, I don't trust Mel Kiper or whatever. I was just surprised to see him that far low.
Yeah.
Now the Eagles can now go Will Johnston, Jihad Cam. They're not going to go linebacker, but they could go Mike Green. They can.
Yeah. Is there any Georgia players left? Or
no Georgia guy. There's Jared Wilson as center, but that's not happening.
One pick they traded up.
Oh, the Eagles traded up? Oh, okay.
One damn pick.
They must have wanted someone that the Chiefs wanted.
I mean,
I don't know why you trade up for
what would the Chiefs want? A receiver? Why would the Eagles need a receiver?
I think the Eagles
maybe edge.
I think the Eagles would go defense, right? Or
my number one defense last year, too. I mean, I know they lost a lot, but
well, they lost the defense. They lost defensive tackle. We know that. There's Darius Alexander out of Toledo.
I could see the Eagles taking Siobhan Ravel.
Fuck, that's a good cornerback room. He can sit too.
Yeah, like you take him and play him behind the, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and.
Jeez. But yeah, thankfully no Georgia defensive tackles or edges there. There we go.
Yeah,
I'm curious why they would trade up one spot.
Eagles take Sanders.
Sanders. Oh, Shador. Oh, yeah. That would be
Jaylen, go take a seat. We'll use you for the
interesting. They traded up and then proceeded to wait like 3 extra minutes and still haven't even put in the pick yet.
Do we think the Browns take Shador or no?
If he doesn't go to the Browns, I don't know who would really want him at this point. There's not that many needs.
Available quarterback.
Well, when does Pittsburgh pick again? Do they have a second round pick?
I mean, in the middle of the second. No, they traded it for a DK.
Maybe the Giants trade back up into the 32nd pick and take another quarterback.
Maybe that's what the Eagles were. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't have a second round pick.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, you know what? Maybe Las Vegas. Las Vegas at
Yeah, but they just paid Gino all the money.
That's true.
3 years too.
They got a Buccaneer GM. Don't worry. They're not.
Oh, I forget the Browns.
Jihad is what I'm seeing.
Oh, for the Eagles?
Don't write that to the bank. I don't have an Eagles person to confirm it. But that's what I'm seeing.
I just saw that.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
That makes sense. SEC player.
I just saw the Browns. They have 2 second-round picks now because of that trade. So
Yeah.
they could take Shador with either one of those.
No.
I mean, realistically, like the only available quarterback jobs that are available, I would say, is what? The Colts, because they don't know what they have in Anthony Richardson.
They have Daniel Green. Or not Daniel Green, Daniel Jones.
Now, Plass, come on now. I mean, the Steelers don't even know what the hell. They don't have a quarterback.
I'm seeing Jihad Campbell.
They're all in on Aaron Rodgers.
But he's not.
I don't have a confirmation, though.
So, I mean, I think realistically, there's only like 2 jobs.
Yeah.
The Steelers, the Colts, and maybe the Dolphins, because 2 is 1 hit away from, you know what?
You have the Saints.
Yeah, true.
When did the Saints pick in the second round?
They pick. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, they have 40, so they could take him at 40.
Damn.
They might.
I don't think he's lasting till 40.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a good pick for them, but like
in the second round, absolutely. I was hoping they do it at 9.
Yeah.
True.
I wonder.
Of course, it goes to commercial on the Eagles pick.
I wonder if the Chiefs take a running back. I know Travion Henderson was rumored.
I don't know. If I'm them, what wide receivers are left?
Just
Higgins,
Luther Burden. Yeah.
Trey Harris, Luther Burden, Jalen Noel.
Luther Burden would be fun.
That would.
I would like to see Luther Burden go to, I think, the Patriots or even the Raiders. I would like.
I don't know. I'm still seeing Jihad Campbell for the Eagles, but I don't have confirmation. If you might, Mark, went earlier, freaking, I swear I had what I thought was a Cowboys legit reporter. It was a fake account. And I thought it was Matthew Golden to the Cowboys.
They took
had like 10,000 followers, like looked legit. Like I thought it was a reporter because the Jones don't really leak too much out there. So like they're like one of the few teams I don't really have like a Greg Allman for.
In our group chat, they're saying Jihad Campbell.
Yeah.
So
typical freaking Eagles move, man.
Alabama and Georgia.
Good damn pick.
Yep. Well, we'll see if the medicals hopefully turn out.
Yeah, but
well.
they can wait though. That's the nice thing about them. Like,
yeah, he can be a backup.
They're gonna get Nakobe Dean back next year too.
Yeah.
Damn, and they signed back. What's his name?
Oh, Zach Bond.
Zach Bond, yeah.
Jeez, man, wow, that defense.
Make a trade, Jason Light, for Nakobe.
Oh shit! I would entertain it.
Yeah, there's a Levante David prototype out there. There's one in this draft, and then there's Nakobe Dean.
Yeah.
The only thing is his contract's got to be expiring soon. Maybe he has 1 year left. Maybe.
Well, but it's the same thing with Servasi, injury-riddled guy.
Yep. Hopefully we get Chris Paul Jr. and they take Nick Martin on day 3, and they'll be ready.
I'm anxious for this film study, though, plus.
Oh, it's going to be good.
I still have no confirmation on Campbell, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Capo's already on it. I think that's the article he was talking about.
Egbuka, he was a center fielder. Excellent track and adjustability and catch radius. Yep, he has head fakes. I'm looking at their. Wow. He is a stocky build. Yeah, he has a Chris Godwin. Tough blocker.
Damn, 5th round pick just to move up the one spot.
Not bad.
Plus, we're going to have fun with this film study.
Yeah.
Already liking what you're seeing?
It's the fact that, again, so like all these guys, usually in college, it's like a one-trick pony, right? There's one thing you do really well. You just keep doing it over and over again. When a guy can do a lot, more than just one attribute well, I really like it. And when everything is almost around the same area, like you're just good at everything, like that's a good translation. At least you're going to be a good player. You're not going to be a liability on the field. That's my biggest thing. Like we all know, I love Logan Hall. He was just such a liability in so many areas. I'm like, why the hell would you put him out there? Why would you take him that high? Like, I just didn't see it. I never understood the pick. Never understood the Devin White pick either. And we got knocked for it. And, like, it just comes to fruition, like, every time. It's like, okay, well, he had one good game. Okay, well, what about the other 16 other games? Like, I want to see consistent play in every facet of your game, or you show the ability to do it. And we can just, like you said, teach you a little bit more to get you better at it. Not just you just look completely lost at one area of your game. This guy shows he can block really well. He understands blocking schemes. And from a wide receiver standpoint, I love that. Especially the way
sorry to interrupt, but Jahad Campbell is pretty excited. He's pretty pumped. I think he thought he was going to fall out of the first round. But he is an Eagle.
Wait,
He's going to Eagles.
Explain to me still why Jalen Milroe is at the draft.
He is at the draft?
Yeah, he got invited.
He's going to be the last pick here.
I mean, if Shador's not going in the first round, there's no way Jalen is. I don't know if Jalen can even go round 2, to be quite honest.
I don't think he should. I think he's going to be like a gadget type
guy. You can't pass, man. You can't teach someone to pass in the NFL.
Oh, no. Look at the Saints quarterback. What's his name? Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's literally what he is. Or what was the Titans draft pick from Waller a couple years back?
Levis?
Levis.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the guy who flamed out after a year? The tackle?
No, the quarterback.
Oh, Levis.
No,
Malik Willis?
Oh, Malik Willis.
There it is.
Yeah.
Freak athlete.
Yeah.
Could run really fast. Has a dart for an arm. But like you just said,
can't pass.
Where the hell were the balls going? Could you be used in a variety of ways? Yeah. I think you'd be a cool player to put on an offense, but I wouldn't be giving you the ball to throw 50 times in a game.
Yeah. Apparently Mahomes is happy. He tweeted out some sort of emoji.
Chiefs take Taylor Swift.
Is that why he's happy?
All right, let's see.
Mahomes is happy about the Chiefs pick? Who did they pick?
Yeah, he tweeted out some sort of emoji.
So I'm assuming it's a receiver.
Receiver or lineman's got to be.
Damn, if it's Luther Burden, imagine him with Speed Demon.
Oh, Twitter's going off saying that they drafted referees. I thought that was like you just see like Chiefs select on Twitter, and then you just see insert, Hockley, insert, all of them. I'm seeing Josh Simmons, but that's not confirmed.
Really?
That'd be good.
That's true. They're all
be a good pick.
Ass last year.
Yeah, that'd be a good pick.
Yeah, it's not confirmed. Don't hold me to that.
Simmons.
I also reached out to my Chiefs guy. We'll see what he says.
Simmons is really good. Just the medical. So if his,
Yeah, but
if
they
his,
can mess around, like they can have, Donovan Smith fill in, get holds that don't get called all day,
yeah.
Yeah, I keep seeing him everywhere. Again, it's not confirmed. I don't have a writer on it, but
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think we're gonna start, finalizing final thoughts and just get, set the board up for tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna get JC Allen in here. Looks like he's pretty busy, so we'll try to get him on tomorrow and try to get his thoughts on the pick, and obviously set things up for day 2. As the Buccaneers head into tomorrow, they got a receiver in the first round. Surprise, surprise. A lot of shock with the pick, but I think overall it's going to work out. And we just have to see how the rest of this draft, plays out. Would expect probably heavy defense, secondary, pass rushers, all those things probably in play. Linebacker help. So still a lot of talent left on the board. Donovan Ezeraku didn't go round 1. Maybe he falls. Who knows? There's a lot of things that could happen for the Buccaneers. But Ken, appreciate you, man, as always. Hope to see you tomorrow as well. Hopefully. All right. Sounds good, man. Give us your thoughts of tonight, and what are you looking forward to as far as tomorrow goes?
yeah, tonight did not go any which way I thought it was going to for the most part.
Right.
I think Daniel Jeremiah tweeted out, and I think it's fair for most drafts, but I think as time progresses, these GMs are, it's officially Josh Simmons. These GMs are real. We saw it with Light. You got your guys. The rankings across the board are going to be a lot different for different teams. Bucs feel like they got their guy. I think the position alone shows you that Light thinks he got his guy. We'll see. Day 2 better be littered with some defense. Beginning of day 3 better be littered with some defense. But again, I think there's enough talent there on the board where if we only needed to come up, it could be a little bit. If there's a guy that we needed, or if there's a run on a position. I'm really thinking cornerback is probably the round 2 pick. That's kind of where I'm leaning right now. Looking at the board, we got, let me pull this up real quick. We got Will Johnson still on the board, Siobhan Revelle, Trey Amos, Benjamin Morrison. I feel like that's a tier right there. Hopefully one of those 4 lasts. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for tomorrow. We'll see if Ezeraku, there's still Mike Green. There's some names out there still. So we'll see what the day 2 lines up. But day 1 was fun. I think we were all shocked at the very least.
Yeah.
And go Bucs.
All right, Mark, final words as we get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, guys, don't get so frustrated over it wasn't a defensive pick. You got a good person. We're going to evaluate the tape and show you our opinion of what this pick was. A lot of the immediate results that you look up show it's a very consistent player. Just because it wasn't a position that you wanted, doesn't mean get pissed off. Like Ken just said, there's plenty of other picks you get to choose. The rest of the draft better be defense, because that's what we really need to improve on. And we talked about it, how many excuses can you give Todd Bowles? Yeah, I mean, if you don't give him talent to use, that goes towards the GM too. Like, what you have on your starting roster, you got to improve on it. You improved on the offense yet again for a first-time play caller, but your head coach, who was a defensive coordinator, the defense was not good in any fashion, form, or anything last year. So you got to improve on it. So what are you going to do in the next couple of picks to improve on that? Are you going to trade down to get more picks, to get more talent you can bring in? Or do you find guys like a Will Johnson, who should have been a first-round pick, and he falls to you? Or like you just mentioned, Siobhan Revelle, or one of these edge rushers, or a middle linebacker that we've been begging for, that we truly need. So I don't know, there's still time to tell, and just don't get mad because it was a receiver, not a defensive player, because this receiver could be a pretty damn good one and a very consistent player that will make reliable catches in the future. So either way, you got to score points, and then you got to prevent them too. So let's see. It's not over yet. It was just day 1. It was 1 pick. Let's not get so mad. We took Bucky Irving in what I believe the 4th round.
Bucky Irving, I think, is the biggest winner of that pick
Right.
because now you can't have 2 safeties in the box. You couldn't have 2 safeties before anyway, but now you especially can't have 2 safeties down. So
think about that. Like it helps your running game even more. He's a hell
helps
of a
your defense if you help your run game too. So it goes hand in hand,
right? So like there's many ways to look at it, and not to mention, like I was just saying, like Bucky Irving was a 4th round pick, so you can still get winners later in the draft. Line like Servassier Dennis, even though he's very sparingly being used, he's good when he's on the field when healthy. 5th round pick. Juan Alexander was a 4th round pick. Like you can get middle linebackers later. You don't have to be a 1st round guy. So let's keep looking at value. They found Egbuka as a valuable position in the 1st round. Let's see what we do in day 2 and day 3. Let's take it away.
Yep, absolutely. So guys, if you enjoyed the stream, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here to the channel. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate everyone that viewed our live stream throughout the show. We stayed pretty consistent. We had over 150 people throughout the time frame here. We did over almost 3 hours and 40 minutes. So that's we'll take it. And it was a fun draft. It went pretty quickly. I think much quicker than last year's 1st round. And now tomorrow will probably be the same, probably be more rapid fire. And maybe we'll see a little bit more trades as far as trading down and stuff like that.
It takes so little to trade up from here on out. So
Yep.
I expect a lot more again, like that Eagles moving up like a couple picks. That's what I expect tomorrow.
Yep, absolutely. So guys, hope you all enjoyed it. Stay tuned for tomorrow's show. We're going to be live back again, 7 p.m. start, and we'll have a lot of great guests on as well. Might have a national writer joining us, so that should be a lot of fun. And yeah, a lot of Bucs coverage. So hope everyone has a great night. And with that said, we'll see you tomorrow. Go Bucs.
Woo!